Good evening and welcome to a beautiful night here in southwestern Ontario. We're at Alumni Field at the University of Windsor, the site of Ontario Football Conference action here on We Digital Productions. Hello everybody, my name is Dominic Papa. Joining me, as always, the doctor of football, Badia Kwas. And Badia, it doesn't get any better. We had Hamilton here a couple of weeks ago, and tonight we have another, just a huge game. I mean, there's so many different implications that come out of this game. Big game for both teams here tonight.
Absolutely. Two top-ranked teams in the country with the Beefeaters holding the edge right now, having beaten Windsor a couple weeks ago up in London, and going to be the premier matchup. Of course, obviously, you can't dismiss a Hamilton team, but these three teams are top-notch, and any one of them can win the conference championship.
Speaking of the conference, let's take a look at the standings quickly. You can see Hamilton sitting number one with the 5-1 record right now. You've got London at 5-1, but Hamilton beat London earlier in the campaign. Of course, Windsor beat Hamilton earlier in the campaign, so you can see where this is all tangled up right now. And in the next couple of weeks, this is going to get all untangled because the Fratmen will travel to Hamilton next week. But you don't look beyond this game, obviously. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about the Beefeaters, Badi. What a great year they've had. This team's been they worked really hard in the offseason. They've brought in a quality lineup, including one particular player.
Yeah, they really have a good balance of the whole team. Like, this is the largest in terms of numbers I've seen London probably in 5 or 6 years. So this Beefeaters squad is very good, and they have a running back by the name of Van Bell. This young man is electric, and I know Coach LaChance already told me, if we can corral him, they have a chance to at least put some pressure on the quarterback and force them to be a passing team. But if he lets loose, it's going to be a long evening here in Windsor for the home team.
Speaking of the home team, the Fratmen, they come into it. Pretty good week of practice under, according to Coach LaChance, and they're pretty healthy, have all their players available to them. 41-34 was the game in London, Badi. You hear a lot of different things. Bottom line is London won the game. Coach LaChance talked to you about what they have to do here tonight.
One is not repeat the same dumb mistakes and penalties from the last time, because that was a severe crippling effect for them last time. And then the next thing is going to be they have to keep some balance on offense. I know Coach LaChance said that he wants to run the ball, but he doesn't necessarily want to match up big for big. He wants to spread it out, get all his athletes the ball, and then that should open up some running lanes for Nash Prier, and hopefully they can exploit it. And if they can do that and bring some balance, I can see Windsor winning this game. But on that same token, you can't turn the ball over either team, or else it's going to cost them the game.
Let me ask you to put your little genie hat on here if you can, but do you see this game being, I'm not going to ask you for a prediction or a win, but is this a game that may come down to the last minute?
I do think this is going to be a very, very tight. I can't see one of these teams pulling away from the other. I have a hard time believing that one team isn't going to be able to counteract what the other team does. So this is going to be a punch for punch. If it gets to a 10, I think that's the max it could be. But on that same token, these two teams, if you make mistakes, will capitalize off those mistakes. So if there is a lot of mistakes, it can get out of control, but I really do think this is going to be a close one. And it will come down to who makes the last mistake might be the one that is the loser.
All right. Good stuff. When we come back to the Alumni Field, the opening kickoff and all the action, it's OFC football on We Digital Productions.
Hi, I'm Josie, and I'm your co-host of the We Digital production, We Now. Anyone interested in promoting a business, an event, a book signing, or maybe even just making aware of the movers and shakers of Windsor, Essex County, We Now can do that for you. We'll get your word out. So make sure you email me at josie@we-tv.ca to book an in-studio session that will air live on Facebook. And don't forget to check out our social media. We've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube.
I want to understand why.
I want this to be perfect.
I want to be inspired.
I want to be challenged.
No matter the reason, our passion to learn brought us here.
Hi, I'm Curtis Joseph, former NHL goalie.
Butcher goes down. Up front, the Berman drive, the save. Pass to the nice shot to the save. And he's right in. Oh, and Joseph stops it behind the net. Marksman wipes the right front pocket, shoots. Oh, and what a save!
You're watching We Digital.
Welcome everyone to beautiful Windsor, Ontario for tonight's coverage of OFC football. It's a battle for first place between the 5-1 London Beefeaters and the hometown 4-1 Windsor Fratmen. I'm Justin Prince, alongside of the booth today is Padik Waz as we get set for football under the lights, a big-time matchup for the standings for the remainder of the regular season.
Absolutely, you have two perennial powerhouses playing. The shortest trip for either team, I guess for Windsor, maybe London's got some close ones elsewhere, but the reality of it is this is the battle of 401 action here, and you got the home team trying to defend their turf after losing to this very London team a few weeks ago.
Indeed, right now, the Fratmen are getting set to kick things off. The London Beefeaters will be in the red, blue, white, and silver jerseys today. Setting up on the right side of your screens, the Fratmen set up in their white and black jerseys today, as they look to get a big-time victory. Last time these two teams met, the Fratmen won by 7 at TD Stadium, down the 401 at the University of Western Ontario campus. How will tonight's matchup fare? We're about to find out. Kicking things off is Sam Richardson, the kicker for the Windsor Fratmen, as we get underway for the Rose City. A low kick this time, bounces past the 20, picked up at about the 17. Richardson finds some space, has some blockers, across the 50, across center field, knocked out of bounds around the 50, maybe around the 45, and a rough kick off the start and a stronger return from London.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good kick. It was bouncing around, it got between the numbers and the hash mark, and what ended up happening was it just lost containment.
Tonight's officials, Bruce Carter, the referee, the umpire, Chris Patton, Dom Hollerhead is the head linesman, line judge, Bill Ganton, John Johnson, the side judge, back judge, Neil DeBacker, and Kirk Hayes is the field judge for tonight's action. But London in great field position, starting their first drive of the 45. On the ground on 1st and 10. The Fratmen defensive line swallows up the back at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's a nice job by number 5, Anthony Greb, who set the edge for himself and made sure that they did not get that jet sweep around the wide side of the field.
And that is a gain of just 1 for Tazzy Vane Bell, and that's somebody you have to put a star next to in terms of the offense. Coming into today, averaging 11 yards to carry on just 34 rushes.
Yeah, outstanding athlete, and he just is shifty, but has speed too. So it is a concern moving forward for the whole season and for the whole league, quite frankly.
2nd and 9, ball placed at about the 44-yard line for the Beefeaters. Looking to pass. McCollum finds his man across the 35, complete. That'll be the first down of the day, finding Vane Bell on the reception.
Yeah, nice job by Clark McCallum. And this is a good coaching point here. You'll see they did a full rollout. Guaranteed the Fratmen, whenever it's an obvious passage situation, are going to try to bring pressure. And the coaches know that right away. So they move McCallum on the first one, give him some time, buy some time with his feet. And rolling to his left, he made a nice pass for the first down.
Just past the 92nd point of today's action here on We Digital Productions. Justin Prince alongside Padik Waz for OFC football action. McCollum hands it off. Defensive line gets into the backfield for a loss of a few.
And that is the pressure that I know the D-line wants to bring to the game. By getting in those gaps, you'll see here there was no avenue for the running back to get through, and that results in a loss of about 1.5 yards. So maybe making them one-dimensional. We'll see if London does indeed move the launch point and sprint out the quarterback again to avoid some of that heat that I know Coach Morency is going to bring.
Indeed, they've got a 2nd and 12 now with the ball placed at about the 36-yard line after the 2-yard loss. 3 back in the motion. McCallum finds his man, complete. And now for a first down, the reception to Josh Waller.
Nice, simple concept. They're going to get that ball out quick. And this is a pre-snap read in my assessment. He did not even look at it. You'll see here on the replay. Quarterback turned, set, and threw right away. So they must have done some sort of scouting in advance to know that B-seam hook is going to be open, because they had 3 receivers all to that side, and it was that second receiver who settled into the little bit of a B-seam hook at around 12 yards, and he picks up 15 for a first down.
McCallum, also a strong passer on the season. 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. This time, hands it back off. Scramble for the ball. Who's got it? Fratmen have it on the fumble.
Yeah, and that was just a miscommunication. They faked Van Bell on the little jet sweep action. McCallum then turns to hand it off to number 22, Felix Noel, and you could see that ball bounce across the chest. There's the fake, and it's up on his chest, bouncing around, and the Fratmen do recover, and it looks like it was big number 58 for the Fratmen, Connor Sykes, who recovered it, and that's going to set up Colton Allen and the Fratmen with a first down after the turnover.
And that's not how London wanted that first drive to go, to say the very least. More than 3 minutes of possession time already with a turnover inside the red zone. Colton Allen as the quarterback for the Fratmen for the first drive of the day for Windsor. 3 receivers set up to the right side. Allen looking to pass to the left side of the field. Into traffic, incomplete. That'll make it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, London looked like they were going to bring some pressure and fed right off of that, so there was only a 4-man rush, and it looked like they had some sort of sticks defense here because they had 3-4 guys over the top. So Colton Allen looked off the safety, but there was still help over the top of that, so that was pretty good coverage from the visitors.
Willie Mboko on the coverage that time and forces the incompletion on the tough throw. Paints out the intended receiver. 2nd and 10. 2 receivers set up on the near side. Now 3 on the left side for Allen. 3 back in the motion. Allen looks to throw. Quick throw. Incomplete, intended for Jared Hayes Williams. And that's a 2-and-out to start off the Fratmen's offense of the night.
Yeah, Kamar Bishop read that the entire way, and he stepped right in front of this. The Fratmen are lucky this wasn't actually picked off because you see that he actually ran the route for him. He saw that slant coming all the way, and that was a quick 2-and-out. As you said, the punting unit's going to come on. So Coach LaChan's going right to the air right away, maybe trying to spread the team out a little bit, maybe come back to the run after he sees what defense is in, but nonetheless, they have to punt.
Joey Cortez and Spencer Foster back to return as the Fratmen set up for their first punt of the day. Setting up inside their own 10. Ball picked up around center field. Cortez tries to get going, brought down for a short return of about 3. Still good field position for London for their second drive of the night already.
Yeah, good field position, but good punt, good coverage. Ball bounced around. He caught it pretty much at the midfield stripe. Only a 2-3 yard return there. So all things considered, you at least push them back a little bit. They're coming off a turnover, so maybe they're going to try to simplify things a little bit without so much motion and jet sweep action. We'll see if the Fratmen defense dials up the pressure early on again.
And the Beefeaters set up for 1st and 10 at the 52-yard line. 3 receivers on the far side of the field. McCallum, quick throw, complete. Looking to find space, spinning around. Forward progress might mark at the 49. We'll see where they spot it. Regardless.
Yeah, and you'll see here on the replay, they just drew a simple little wide receiver hitch, and they're hoping that they can get maybe one man missed. In this case, a real nice tackle in the open field by 26, and that is Jackson Roundtree, and that negates any kind of big gain, limiting it to a 1-yard gain and bringing up 2nd and long.
And it looks like they spotted it at the point of the second spin on the reception by Daniel Jaffe. 2nd and 9 on the 1-yard reception. McCallum looking to the right, quick throw, finds Van Bell, breaks 1 tackle, tries to go towards the sideline. Knocked out of bounds around the 39-yard line. Either way, that's enough to move the sticks, it looks like.
And the defense had that one sniffed out, but you'll see on the replay that the young man, he did get it in stride, which means he kept his momentum forward. So McCallum did a good job of getting it out, but the tackle has to be made, and that was just a missed tackle. And when you give an athlete like that time and space, they're going to make other people miss and then turns it into a first down.
And of course, we mentioned the dangerousness of Van Bell in the running game. The receiving game, too, is something to watch for. Top receiver entering tonight. He sets up in the slot on the near side of the field for 1st and 10 at the 39. Running back goes up to block. McCallum goes to throw towards coverage, incomplete. Intended for Josh Waller once again, makes it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and here, again, that's something that I think the Fratmen want to see happen. They had a safety over the top of that, and on this replay, the quarterback pretty much looks exactly where he wants to throw the entire time. McCallum was read pretty easily there, and it was broken up by number 30 for the Fratmen, and that looked like it was Dante Fornasario who made a break on the ball, bringing up 2nd and long.
That was near double coverage, too, on the play. Either way, 2nd and 10. Already about 6 minutes into the first quarter. McCallum scrambles right, throws in the motion, incomplete. Too short. That makes it 3rd down again.
Yeah, good job by the defense. They took away his number 1 read and the over-the-top read, forcing the quarterback to make a tough throw as he was pressured, as he was working his way to his home sideline, or to his sideline, I should say. And that short hop to the receiver, and that's going to bring a punting situation. And the Beefeaters are okay right now. It's going to be punch, counter, punch, but if they can pin the Fratmen inside their own 10 here, I think they'll be happy with the turn of events going forward, force the Fratmen to go the full length of the field.
And the punt will take place around the 50-yard line. Returnment already back in the end zone. Punter drops the ball. Forced to scramble on the motion. Trying to get the first down in his own. Around the 30. Doesn't look like he didn't get there. And that might be a turnover with downs. It looks like yes.
Wow. Like, I don't know how he got that many yards. He's clearly short of the yard to gain. But he just dropped it. I don't know what happened here. It was a good snap. He was going to set, and he lost the tip of it. I think he had time if he wanted to sprint out to the right and do a little bit of a rugby-style punt. But he decides he wants to try to go get the ball, and he just does not get it as the Fratmen defense converges. And now the Fratmen have 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
John Kern, Andrianaki, the punter for this team, not able to hold on. And that gives the Fratmen decent field position at the 30-yard line. Flag on the play on the 1st and 10 rush. Nash Breer gets to about the 35, but again, a flag is up on the near side.
Yeah, that was thrown right away. It didn't look like the Fratmen were offside, so my guess is this is a pre-snap alignment, and that is the indication by Mr. Carter. So they're probably going to accept the penalty. Here's the official call.
We had offside on the defense, up 5, 1st down, repeat it.
Yeah, they picked up 6 on the run, but 2nd and 4, I'd rather have 1st and 5, which is the easy decision. They don't even have to check with the coaches there. So the D-line must have been lined up offside right off the get-go. So
that moves the ball up to 35-yard line for 1st and 5. With about 8 minutes to go in the first quarter here on We Digital Productions. Allen has 3 wide receivers to his left. 3 back in the motion, looking to pass again. To the far side of the field, complete. Looking for space. Michael Ryan knocked out of bounds inside the 45.
Broken coverage. Don't know where the corner or why the corner sunk in so much, but he did, and he left the number 1 receiver on the outside. You'll see a clean pocket here for Colton Allen to throw into, but it's an easy read. There was no corner in to the outside of the numbers, and that was number 14, who I don't know if he came off. That looked like it was Willie Boku, and he had to come back and make the tackle, but a big gain for the Fratmen.
But the reception that gets them inside Beefeaters territory, looking to gain momentum. Paintsill moves to the left side of the field. McCraney stays on the near side. 3 back in the motion. Allen looks to pass. Quick screen play complete. Hayes Williams spins around defenders, finds some space, knocked down around the 27.
And that's what the defense is going to give you. So far, it looks like the Beefeaters are playing very far off coverage, and you'll see here on the replay that Hayes Williams was wide open. There wasn't one within 6 yards of him at the point of catch. So that's an easy throw. You don't have to worry too much about protection as the young man spins out of the first tackle and picks up 7 more yards.
And now that gets them inside the Beefeaters, 30-yard line. Quickly moving the sticks, the Fratmen this drive. Allen looks to pass, finds his man, complete, touchdown Windsor. Juju Paintsill on the reception, and it's 6-0 Fratmen.
Yeah, and some of the things that you don't give a lot of credit to, but we'll see here on our replay, is the protection. In this case, the running back steps up. Here you'll see in the middle of the picture, you'll see the running back Nash Preer. There's going to be bringing some heat, and it's jammed up, and he protects it nice and cleanly. And there's the throw. We see the nice catch and nice extension, and maybe a little Walter Payton high step. Nonetheless, he spikes the ball in jubilation as they score. Here's the extra point.
Setting up for the extra point is Richardson. Again, the second kicker for the Lancers. That one just dribbles around the uprights. It is good. 7-0 is your score for the Fratmen. Tonight's game is presented by Harold Remark and Royal Page Binder Real Estate. With more than 20 years of experience, Harold can help you find your perfect home or property. Contact him today by phone at 519-733-1028 or view his current listings at royalpagebinder.com.
And our crew looks like they've fixed up a few of the things here, and we're going to try to get that replay here, and there's the touchdown pass again. A nice job of deceiving the DB, not flashing his hands early, and a good throw by Colton Allen as he was able to hit his receiver in stride, and that gives the Fratmen a 7-0 lead.
And with that pass, it's Allen's 12th on the season. And entering tonight, the Fratmen, with their two-quarterback system, have seen him and Mayu have 26 touchdowns entering the evening. A very dangerous passing duel.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they're getting close to the team record for passing touchdowns in a season, and there's still this game and 2 others to go.
Indeed, as the Fratmen kick it off back to the Beefeaters. Return for about the 15-yard line. Looking to find space. Cortez gets some space along the near sideline. Marked out of bounds on the cut. They say he stepped down at about the 47, making about the 46.5.
Too many guys stuck between the numbers here, and you'll see from the vantage point, you got all these people inside the numbers. You can't have that many people buried inside the numbers. It gives up the sideline. So that's something the special teams unit for the Fratmen are going to have to rectify. They got to get some more spacing. Their lane man have to keep some width. That ball was kicked pretty much in the middle of the field, so they have to correct that.
And with that, the Beefeaters start the ball at the 47-yard line. Past couple drives have either finished with a turnover or a 2 and out. This time they start on the ground. Short gain for a few yards. At that time, it's Danny Burney, the second running back for this team, also a dangerous back that's had a majority of the carries this season.
Yeah, and here's the replay. You get some penetration from the Fratmen, and they get hands on the running back near the line of scrimmage, which is going to negate any kind of big run because the momentum is taken away from the running back, so it's going to bring up that 2nd and 7.
3-yard carry for Danny Burney. His 50th rush on the season, that one. But 3 receivers make it 4 in the motion. McCollum, quick throw, complete around center field. Fratmen bring the receiver back in Waller, but shy of the sticks by a few yards.
Yeah, it's a long 2. So it looks like the kick team, the punt team is coming on. A very sure-handed tackle. That's something you have to do. If you're going to give up an underneath throw, you have to make the tackle at the point of catch, which indeed was the case, and now it's going to bring a punting situation for the visitors. But if you're the Fratmen, alert for a fake here because it's an ideal spot to try something around midfield with short distance to go.
And with the unintentional fake last punt, Andre Nacky was able to run 10-15 yards nearly. This time, he will put it away for about the 45. Picked up at around the 23. Looking to find space, Dante Lewis. Lewis breaks a couple tackles, brought down at about the 22.
Okay, so good hold, and we'll see here on the replay. A good punt. He executed it well. He was able to get this thing over the top, so you see he doesn't bobble it this time. Good job catching it on the run. I'd like to see him maybe put his foot in the ground and just go north and south and take the 5 that the defense or the coverage team gives him. But either way, he gets back to the point of where he caught it, so you don't let it bounce around. Very important it's not bouncing around, and now they still have some half-decent field position. When you're at your own 20, you still have the long field, but you're not in the shadows of your goalpost.
So decent field position at the 22-yard line. Allen stole the cornerback for the Fratmen. McCraney and Preer switch positions for the 1st and 10. To the ground, McCraney for the rush. Brought down for a gain of about 3. 2nd and medium.
And that was good push. Early in the game, even though you only pick up 3 yards, you want to see the white jerseys push piles back. And you see a few of the red jerseys going backwards and white jerseys going forwards. Great camera angle from our crew showing that. Even though it was only 3 yards, it's something you want to be able to do. Those 3 yards early turn into 5 or 6 late. So that's a good run by McCraney and the offensive line.
And McCraney has, again, it was talked about by Coach Johnson for the past couple of weeks or so, wanting to get McCraney more and more involved in rushes like that. And now on 2nd and 7, Prier stays behind Allen. Looking to pass. Allen to the left side, into traffic, intercepted. Picked off by Gaskill Cadwallader. Down the sideline, but fumbled. Did it go out of bounds? See which way they signal. Either way, London possession inside the 20.
Yeah, this is not the right decision here from Colton Allen. The protection was there. He's able to throw it, but watch his eyes. Just take a look at him. He looks left, and he throws left. The deep safety, and they've been playing off coverage here, and that's number 9, Tanner Gaskill Cadwalder, and he was able to return it all the way down to the 11, and although he fumbled, his own teammate knocked it out of bounds. So they're going to have great field position, so now we have turnovers on both teams.
With the interception, that gives great field position to the Beefeaters. Trying to go to the ground, Bernie on 1st and 10. Gets them inside the 10 for 2nd and medium.
Yeah, good tackle by Anthony Garib. He slid in from his end spot and he made the tackle. But those turnovers, those are the critical things. Colton Allen has to look off the safety a little bit or throw the ball even sooner than that, because that ball hung up and the safety was able to get over the top of that. This is too good of a football team. This Beefeater team, as McCallum gets the call from his sideline, they're too good, Justin. They usually make you pay, and we'll see if they actually do here on the 2nd down play.
That interception a couple plays ago by Allen was his 6th on the season. And now we'll have to watch on the sideline for 2nd and 7 at the 8-yard line. Approaching 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. McCallum looks to throw. Quick throw. Finds his man. Touchdown, Beefeaters. That time the reception by Daniel Jaffe. And the Beefeaters with the extra point have a chance to tie things up at 7.
Yeah, and that was a simple concept. They take somebody swinging to the flat, and then they run a slant behind it. And if the corner doesn't actually aggressively attack that slant, it's just too easy. It's a pitch and catch, and that's exactly what happened. You see coming over late, that was number 20, Delmas Lynch coming in late.
3rd touchdown reception of the season for Jaffe. As the extra point's up and good. We're tied up at 7 with 3:04 to go in the first quarter.
So each team's capitalized off turnovers.
Indeed, so far, the Beefeaters looking to capitalize and try and build momentum. There's just a couple games to go under schedule, though. As you can see, they've won the past 4 games, 5-1 the record. After today, they have one more matchup against the Niagara Raiders on the road. But this is crucial because they're currently coming in tied with the Hamilton Hurricanes at a 5-1 record.
Yeah, should this happen to end up going in London's favor, and London goes on to beat Niagara and they end up sitting at 7-1, London will become Windsor fans next week, because they would want Windsor to beat Hamilton, because then Hamilton will have their 2nd loss. If Hamilton ends up with only 1 loss, Hamilton has the head-to-head against London from their earlier matchup. So you're going to see London hate Windsor now, but if they win, they're going to love them next week.
Andre Naki kicking things back up to the Fratmen with 3:04 to go in the first quarter. Returned inside the 10. Paintsill breaks off a huge hit, pushes forward to about the 32. Man, he knew he got laid out, but pushed the man with the hit stick back.
Yeah, and this was a good catch, actually. This was a knuckler, a line drive type kick, and it almost got over the head of the return man Paintsill, and you'll see he catches it. And then he does take this hit right in the middle of your screen. You're going to see a big pop. He spins off of it, keeps his balance, and picks up 6 more yards.
And with that, they give him the ball at the 33-yard line on the strong return. 1st and 10. Daniel Mayu into the game at quarterback for the first time tonight after the interception last drive by Allen. McCraney on the ground. On the left side, tries to push forward. Knocked up at a late flag on the play. McCraney knocked out with a gain of about maybe 6, but again, a flag is up.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're going to actually call McCraney for lowering his head and trying to run through. I'm not sure. it didn't look like there was anything late out of bounds, but here's the call from the official.
And
so the indication when the referee puts his fists together, that's a blindside block. We'll get the call here.
Unnecessary roughness. Blindside block. Backing it up 15. First down, repeat it.
So the definition of a blindside block is a player can't work his way back towards the line of scrimmage. So one of the Fratmen receivers must have worked their way back towards the line of scrimmage and hit a London player, which sprung McCraney to the outside. So that negates a good run, and it's going to be 1st and 25.
That places it all the way at the 17-yard line with the penalty. A very long field for Mayu. Mayu now has Nash Prier as the back. 3 receivers in the motion. Looking to pass. Mayu, quick throw. Hayes Williams, he's got it. Brought down just shy of the 50. And a late flag on the play.
Yeah, and Hayes Williams did a great job of holding on to it. And I was wondering when that flag was going to come out because Hayes Williams was on the ground already, and the safety lowered his head and shoulders into him. You'll see here on the throw, Mayu puts a good throw to him. Hayes Williams adjusts nicely. He's on the ground, bang. And the shoulder went to the back of the head of the receiver. He is a vulnerable protected player, and you see the indication from Bruce Carter. Here's the call.
Yeah, no unnecessary roughness. Coming on after the catch. Moving it up 15, first down.
So an extra 15 yards to the big-time reception. That puts the Fratmen back in Beefeaters territory.
And Coach LaChance is not waiting till the second quarter or the second half to put Dan Mayu in. He got him in early, and it's already paying off with a big throw, flipping the field position.
I was going to say Mayu having the more touchdowns and yardage entering today. Mayu looking to gain more. To McCraney, intercepted. Picked off inside the 20. And the Beefeaters take it right back.
Yeah, that time Daniel's arm was his detriment. He threw it too far. Brandon McCraney was open after 13 yards. He is running alone right now for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 yards, but that allowed the corner to come off his quarters coverage on the outside and intercept the ball. That ball has to be thrown more on a line, maybe a 17-yard completion in the air. Let McCraney catch, and we know what happens when he catches and runs. He can make people miss. Daniel threw it too far this time. He actually, his arm was his detriment that time.
Yeah, Mayu known for the stronger arm of the 2 quarterbacks. That time has his 5th interception of 2019. Beefeaters start on the ground with the new possession. Brought down just shy of the 15. That time, it looks like by, I believe, Holmes.
Yeah, no, looked like it was Lawaya. Laco.
Tonight's broadcast is presented by Nonus Athletic Incorporated. Since 1946, Nonus has been Windsor's sporting equipment specialist. The reliable and experienced football experts will fit you with the gear you need. Visit them at their showroom at 2020 Tecumseh Road West or call 519-252-5705 to find the perfect equipment for you and your sports. 2nd and 10 after the no-yard rush. This time the defense breaks through, and that time called incomplete.
Oh, boy. I know we're going to get a replay here, but we don't have challenges. But I want to see if this ball was actually in his hands as he was hit. We're going to take a close look as McCallum slides to his left. The pressure's going to come. That looks like it's so close to an empty hand. I wish there was replay, but they immediately signaled it off. Bruce Carter is one of the most veteran officials here. I'll trust his eyes from our vantage point. He doesn't get the benefit of the replay. That looked awfully close to it being a fumble, which would have resulted in a scoop and score.
Matt O'Neill and Wyatt Lenko were providing the pressure that time for the near sack strip fumble. Instead, the Beefeaters able to punt it away to about the 50. McCraney rushes forward, returns it to about the 40-yard line, so right about where the Fratmen were before that interception.
Yeah, and all that loss was about 1 minute and 40 seconds off the clock. So you're right there, Justin. They're going to have it back in the good field position at the 40-yard line going in. right now both teams have 2 turnovers. Technically, the turnover on downs is considered a turnover in this league. So you got the Beefeaters with the interception, with the fumble and the turnover on downs. The Fratmen have thrown 2 interceptions here. Balance on the scoreboard, balance in the turnovers. Let's see if the Fratmen can get the score off good field position.
3 seconds to go in the first quarter. Last play of the frame. And whistle's blown at the time of the snap. Flags are thrown.
Yeah, that was JoJo. Oh, he was 3 yards offside here. They had to blow it dead because he was so far off. So they'll back it up and they'll play one more down here.
Yeah, you can't finish the quarter at all. Zeros on the last play until finishing the last play.
Offside on the offense, backing up 5. First down, repeat it.
1st and 15. And with that, Paintsville will come off the field for this final play of the first quarter. Mayo getting the signal in from the sideline here amongst the receivers in Cody Holmes. Setting up on the near side of the field will be Hayes Williams as well as Holmes. McCraney sets up in the slot on the left side of Mayo. Looking to pass to the right side. Bullet throw. Hayes Williams incomplete. Over top his head as that will end off the first quarter. We're tied up at 7 after 15 minutes of play. Way back for more coverage of OMC football on Wheat Digital Productions after these messages.
Hi, I'm Josie, and I'm your co-host of the We Digital production, We Now. Anyone interested in promoting a business, an event, a book signing, or maybe even just making aware of the movers and shakers of Windsor, Essex County, We Now can do that for you. We'll get your word out. So make sure you email me at josie@we-tv.ca to book an in-studio session that will air live on Facebook. And don't forget to check out our social media. We've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube.
Are tied up at 7 against the London Beefeaters. Justin Prince alongside Petit Claus here on Wheat Digital Productions as the Fratmen set up for 2nd and 15. Mayo looking to pass, quick throw, incomplete to McCraney. And that'll make it 3rd and long, another 2 and out to start this game.
Yeah, high throw. Brandon McCraney's not all that tall as it stands, but it wasn't going to be nearly enough for the first down in that case scenario. So the punt team's going to have to come on here. And let's see if the Fratmen punt cover team is a little better than their kickoff cover team.
Setting up to punt. Again, return men set up around the 15-20 yard line. Couple blockers breaking to the line. Punt still gets away to the 15. Returned across the 25. Brought down just shy of the 30. So a decent punt that time.
Very good job by the return man for the Beefeaters. That looked like it was number 26, Jackson Werstein. He caught the ball in the air. You'll see here on the replay. If this thing bounces, there's a good chance it's going to bounce back and deep into the sideline. But he catches it in the air here, and he makes a positive 10-yard gain after that run. And I correct myself, it was number 28, Joey Cortez.
And Joey was able to get the ball, as mentioned, to the 28-yard line. And what has been a back-and-forth affair so far. 7-7 your score, 2 turnovers apiece for each team. 4 in the motion on 1st and 10. Quick throw in the backfield dropped. Mitch Spence, the intended receiver, and that was nearly a lateral.
Close to a lateral. I agree with that, Justin. The replay should give us a little bit of an angle to confirm that it was indeed a forward pass. The quarterback's going to throw the ball from around the 20-yard line. Yeah, it was. I would say it's forward. Worst case scenario was sideways, so
yeah.
Nonetheless, it's a good call.
Either way, 2nd and 10. Just couldn't keep the hands on it on that play. 2nd and 10, about a minute into the second quarter. Here on Wheat Digital Productions in Windsor, Ontario. McCallum hands it off. Spence trying to run around the corner towards the sideline. Jukes across the 35. Didn't quite get to the sticks, though, might be a yard short.
That's way too many. They had the whole sideline to take half the field, the cutback away from him. This is a decision. They might go for it on 3rd down. They only need a yard here. The Waco brought that pressure from the outside, but that force should have made the tackle for 7 yards to go, and instead, missed tackle gives the Beefeaters a chance to convert on 3rd and short.
They're going for it inside their own 40. Receivers brought back after 3 were in the motion. And someone jumped. Quick whistles. See if this draws the time. It looks like it might have.
Looks like London called the timeout. They were just trying to draw the Fratmen offside. Good discipline from the defense not to jump.
Let's take a look at the Windsor Fratmen schedule meanwhile, as we just passed the 2 minutes in point of the second quarter. They started the season with 2 victories, but when they took on London on the road on September 7th, they lost 41-34. They've won the past 2 games straight, though. One against Hamilton and one on the road against GTA. They still have 2 more games on the schedule after this, though.
Yeah, that Ottawa game was supposed to be sandwiched between GTA and Niagara, but that had to be moved because Ottawa was having some personnel problems.
Either way, they'll end off the season against Ottawa. Punted away by the Beefeaters. Picked up by McCraney inside the 45, brought down to center field. For more great field position for the Fratmen. Let's take a look at this one.
Nice high punt. Allowed the coverage team to get there. McCraney catches the ball around his own 45-yard line, and he moves forward for a 9-yard gain here. Anytime you can get about a first down on a return, that's a good return for whether it's kickoff or return on the punt. Good job getting it near midfield by McCraney catching the ball in the air.
Looks like Allen's all set to go to try and pass here in the early portions of this second quarter. See if they go to the air or stick to Nash Prayer. They go to Prayer. Prayer on the ground. Across the first down chains. Knocked down around the 30-yard line. And Nash Prayer with a quick burst of speed gets the Fratmen inside the Beefeaters 40.
Yeah, and that's a great run. You'll see he just decides to put foot in the ground, and he's going to sprint. His eyes don't come off the sideline. He's just going to keep running, working his way up the sideline, and that turns into a 24-yard run, setting up the Fratmen well into the Beefeater end.
One of the longer rushes of the day so far as they mark the ball down at the 31-yard line. Allen with 4 receivers to his right. Painso and McCraney swap spots. Allen hands it back off. Prayer up the middle. Still in a gain of tacklers. Finally brought down for a gain of about 3. So make it 2nd and medium.
And you'll see here on the replay that there's a little bit of a hole there. What you want to be able to do if you're the Fratmen offense, they tried double teaming the tackle, but they have to be able to chip to the linebacker. And that was number 40 for the Beefeaters, Dan Fitzgerald, who was able to knife under and make the tackle for only a 3-yard gain.
And right now, the Beefeaters set up with about 4, 5, 6 inside the box for 2nd and 7. Allen throwing over top of defender, incomplete for Ryan. And again, looking towards the sideline, go to Fratmen for 3rd and 7.
Yeah, that's Michael Ryan is pretty sure-handed. He's a big receiver. This one gets right in his waist area, and it just slithers right through his hands here. So Colton Allen's trying to just pick up the first down, and I don't know if it was a lack of concentration because it dived over the under defender, and maybe Michael just didn't see it. Needless to say, that's a drop, and now the field goal unit has to come on to try what amounts to a 35-yard field goal.
So Richardson tries to set up for the field goal, as mentioned, 35 yards the distance. Richardson so far 3 for 3 since joining the Fratmen in 2 games. Kick is up. No good. Short. Picked up and returned out of the end zone. Return man slips inside the 5. Joey Cortez slipping on the turf. Makes a tough field position for London.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to get much more because you'll see here on the replay that the coverage team was actually in good spot to make the tackle. But the ball moves out to the 20-yard line on a missed field goal as long as they get it out of the end zone. So there were tacklers there. It just saved him getting hit very hard. So now the Beefeaters opt to move the ball to their left hash, and it's going to scrimmage them from the 20-yard line.
As mentioned, the ball placed to 20-yard line. My apologies there. But either way, London now still has a long field ahead of them. Approaching a third of the way through the second quarter. McCallum calling the shots with 3 receivers to his right. 3 in the motion. Play action. Feels pressure in the backfield. Tries to step up. Brought down around the line of scrimmage. Alex Valhora with the tackle. That'll make it second and medium.
It
second
looked like
long.
Matt O'Neill had a chance first, and then it looked like Lawaya had a chance the same time. Laco, neither one of them were able to get the sack. You'll see here the pressure comes from number 42. So he missed that. Lawaya gets a hand on him, but then have to clean it up, and it picks up about 2 yards. So they at least turn a negative into a positive.
1 yard rush on the carry on the QB scramble with the pressure. And now has receivers in the motion. McCallum juking around towards coverage. Ball slips out incomplete. That will again bring up the special teams unit. We're going back and forth with the punt units all of a sudden.
Yeah, great back-end coverage by the secondary. They took away all the deep routes, and then he had to check back underneath, and it looked like a linebacker, and I think it was number 54 who got his hand in on the play, Blake Olette, and that's a great job by the entire back-end in coverage there.
And this seems to be having the vibe of a defensive game at this point, Badee.
And I think it's going to be like that. Both these teams up in London were in an offensive shootout, but they learned from their mistakes, so the defenses are going to show their mettle.
Punt unit up and away from the 10-yard line. Wind blows it into a crowd around the 40. And the wind just started gusting towards the punter's face at about that moment.
Yeah, and in Canada, you blow it dead if it's punted into a scrum of players, and that would happen there.
Let's take a look at the CJFL Power Rankings entering this week. As you can see, the Beefeaters 3rd in the country so far in the rankings. Fratmen 5th. Hurricanes also inside the top 10 in P number 6.
The steadfast is the Saskatoon Hilltops. They will hold on to that spot until they lose. And out in BC, the Langley Rams are still undefeated as well.
And a lot to keep an eye on in towards the closing weeks of the regular seasons for the respective leagues. Allen passing on 1st and 10. Gets it close to the sticks, 2nd and short regardless.
And that was, I think, the first reception for Cody Holmes. And this is what they have to be able to do. The replay is going to show that he drags across in between the hash. Colton Allen steps up into the pocket, and he catches the ball right on the hash in the middle of the field. And that's what you have to do. So far, they've taken the safety real deep, and they've tried to expand because the deep routes have been burning London. So now you have to sort of counter off of that and go to the middle of the field.
2nd and 3, Fratmen just offset to the right of the middle of the hash marks. Whistle thrown, flags are up. This play immediately blown dead on the 2nd and 3.
We'll see who they're going to call here, if it was a forced movement.
And it looks like it is against Fratmen.
Okay, we had offside on the offense, backing it up 5. 2nd down, repeat it.
And you can see a bit of the reaction there from Paul Fillion from the offensive line as soon as they found it was against the Fratmen.
Yeah, and you really work hard on first downs to get yourself in a manageable down, and then you take a stupid penalty and you put yourself back in 2nd and long.
2nd and 8 at the 37-yard line after the illegal procedure. Setting up as Allen, looking to pass, finds Hayes Williams. Spins around his defender. Brought down at about the 29. We'll see where they spot it as it's right at the 1st down marker.
Yeah, I think he's about a half yard short. Quick throw to the outside, and Hayes Williams almost broke the tackle, and they're going to spot him just inside that. And from that replay, it looked like he actually got across that 29-yard line. But they're saying it's maybe inches short.
Here's the thing, they did the same thing earlier tonight on a similar spin move. It seems on the back planting of the foot, it seems tonight on the spin move, that's where they seem to have placed it both times so far.
Yeah, but he wasn't down, and the ball was still live, so his knee never touched the ground. So I think that should have been a first, but we get the replay, Justin. They don't.
Yes, indeed. 3rd and short is what they officially mark it as. Fratmen trying to go with the monster set. Beefeaters pushing Allen back and then some. And the whistles were blown as the shoving started to push Allen back 10 yards.
And they did not get it, Justin. They actually lost a half yard based on this spot.
Now let's take a look at this replay. That was only about 3-4 offensive linemen that were still standing up at that point.
Yeah, I just would like to see a different angle. I want to see where the little bubble in the defense was. When you're going to run a quarterback sneak and it's not from a jumbo set where you don't have all your big bodies in, what you have to do is see the seam and dive over it. And Colton Allen tried to push through bodies, and he's not that type of player.
And that gives the Beefeaters again the ball at the 29-yard line. McCallum hands it off on 1st and 10. Vane Bell tries to cut to the sideline. Loses a couple on the play, 2nd and long.
Yeah, great job by the defense. They created that early spill, even though Vane Bell was able to get around the outside. He was not able to outrun the coverages. So you'll see Lawaya get here, put some pressure. Looks like Blake Olette was there as well. Creates that spill. Now he's forced to stretch it sideways, and he's forced out of bounds, and that turns into a 3-yard loss. And it was Patrick Dugmanchada who came in and made the force out.
So that makes it a loss of 2 officially on the stat sheet with 7 minutes and closing down in the first half. 3 receivers again to the left side of the field for the Beefeaters. McCallum passing, quick slant. Brought down at about the 35-yard line. That's still about 4 yards short, though.
Yeah, now you're going to have the punt team. So you got punch, counter punch, punch, turnover, punch, score, counter punch, turnover, score. Here's the replay. He's looking off the safety, trying to open up a seam, and that's just good coverage all across. Give up the underneath. We know we can give you 8. We're not going to give you 13, and that's going to force the punt.
And again, the special team units come out. They've been very busy today as McCraney and Dante Lewis set up for the return. Back to punt again is Andre Naki. Andre Naki from about the 30-yard line. Return for about the 47. Flags up on the return. Lewis breaks the tackle. Tries to cut to the right. Sheds a second tackler. Across the 50. Jukes around the 45. Knocked out of bounds inside the Beefeaters 40. But again, a flag was down as soon as Lewis picked up the ball.
That was a no yards.
Yes.
And it was a 15-yarder because he caught it in the air. So what you're going to end up is you're going to take the result of the play as we see here on the replay. The Fratmen bring 0 pressure, so the kicker has a lot of time. And because you see Lewis come up and catch the ball in the air immediately, he was going to get great field position because he was going to get 15 yards. Either way, here's the call.
We had no yards, kicking team. Yardage was better than the penalty. We have a first down this way.
And that's the exact call. You're not going to have it. If they didn't get at least 15, they would have taken the penalty. But because they picked up about 22, they're going to take the yardage gained.
So they place the ball at the 40-yard line. Again, you have to leave about 5 yards of space around the returner. That led to the flag there. Either way, Fratmen take the strong return. Allen gives it off to Preer. Brought down quickly for a gain of about 2 or 3.
And that was good inside pressure. It looked like it was number 48 for the visitors. Tevin Johnston, who knifed through, I think it looked like the B gap, and he was able to get his hands on Preer early, and that amounts to only a 2-yard run.
So 2nd and 7 is where, 2nd and 8 rather, is where they mark it down. They have to get to the 30 to move the sticks again, with 5:30 to go in closing down in this first half. 4 receivers on the near side of the field for Allen. Quick throw, finds Holmes. Trying to find blockers, gets one. Half spins, goes out of bounds. Mark shy of the sticks. but Holmes with a good run on the reception.
Yeah, and he's going to make it an interesting decision because they need a long 3 yards here. And you'll see Cody Holmes is just a playmaker. Get the ball out to him quick, and hopefully you get a couple blocks, which he does, and he's able to get to the sideline, makes one man miss, and then works his way up the field and spins for 2 extra yards. And because the long field goal was missed earlier, they're going to keep the offense on the field, Justin, and go for it on 3rd and 3.
Especially with the range, as mentioned the first time we've seen Richardson at home. But 3rd and 3. Lewis McCraney amongst the players on the far side of the field, and a whistle blown.
You're going to get a timeout here from Coach LaChance. There was a little confusion breaking the huddle.
Yes, indeed, wanted to make sure the play was on the right pathway. But of course, in the next few days or so, Spitfires action continues here in Windsor with game number 3 against the Ottawa 67s. That takes place on Thursday, October the 4th. Be sure to attend that action starting at 7:05 p.m. Eastern Time. For more information, visit windsorspitfires.com. The Spitfires having a heck of a season opening celebration just a couple weeks ago for the start of the 2019-20 OHL campaign. But Allen looking for a chance to celebrate on a 3rd and 3 scenario here.
Yeah, there was confusion breaking that huddle, Justin, so Coach LaChance, you can't take him with you to the second half, so he has 2 of them. It's a critical point here because if they can keep this drive alive, maybe they can exhaust the rest of this clock and score and take a halftime lead.
Especially with just 4:54 to go. Again, 4 receivers set up on the far side of the field. Allen the hard count. Throws up the middle to traffic, finds McCraney. That's enough for first down, move the sticks again. And McCraney is down and able to get back up quickly.
Yeah, he got hit right in the rib or right in the hip. But there's the middle of the field again. Look outside and then pop your guy to the middle. You only need 3. You clearly ran the route. I don't care if there were 3 guys behind him. He ran it enough to get the sticks, boxed out the bodies. Good throw, good catch, first down.
They placed the ball at the 28-yard line on the quick reception. So the drive continues on. Lewis moves to the left side of Allen. 3 back in the motion. To the ground for Prayer. Cutting to the left, finding space. Darting across the 10. And a gain of tacklers as he's knocked out of bounds inside the 7.
That was a great effort by everyone. The O-line collapsed the left side, and that allowed the cutback here, and you'll see on the replay that Nash works to the right and then puts his foot in the ground and cuts it right back into the hole, and then he just turns the jets on right now, and he has some speed to work his way inside the 10, and then you see the whole crew of Fratmen about to come into the pile, and they're just going to push everybody forward.
Yeah, you have Ryan there, and even
there's
then,
the rest of the line.
You see them, and Prayer was pushing 5-6 Beefeaters in that tackling group.
Great effort, 1st and goal.
1st and goal marked at the 9-yard line is where they spot it. Allen giving signals to Paintso and Lewis to his right. Prayer, the running back, looking to throw to the left side, corner end zone. Ryan, touchdown Windsor! And the Fratmen retake the lead on the touchdown throw by Allen.
Not used in this league all that often, but that's your back shoulder fade. That was not the high fade where you're throwing it to the back cone. You'll see here on the replay that Michael Ryan's just going to box him out, and he turns, and you'll see it on his right shoulder. That's it. Doesn't have to go over him to the back cone. You're a big, tall receiver. You throw it high to his outside. He's going to catch it 90% of the time.
And Richardson sets up the extra point. It's good. 14-7 the score. Fratmen up by a touchdown. Tonight's action from beautiful Windsor, Ontario, once again is presented by Harold Remark and Royal LePage Binder Real Estate. With more than 20 years of experience, Harold can help you find your perfect home or property. Contact him today by phone at 509-733-1028 or view his current listings at royalpagebinder.com. BeefeatersHockey.com.
I'm not sure if you saw him here, but he's here. Harold is at the game today. I saw him, spoke to him a little earlier. So he is in the building to watch the game and support this Windsor Fratmen team.
And he's got to be happy with what he's been seeing on that last drive, at least, from Windsor.
Yeah, good defense. Gave them the short field because the good special teams return. And then next thing you know, critical third down, timeout, well used, good execution, convert the first down, big run, touchdown.
And we're inside 3 minutes to go in the first half here as the Beefeaters get set to return this. And the whistles have been blown in to signal we're inside the 3-minute warning at Alumni Field. Richardson sets up for the kickoff. Good kick. Brought around the 13-yard line. Beefeaters with some blocks, but shedding through them is Matt Blair for the tackle inside the 30.
That was a good job. Good coverage going down the field that time. Edge was set by the containment. So you'll see this kick. So far, everything's been to the right, the left of the return team. And this time, there was nowhere to kick it to the outside. And the lane man ran right into it. And as you said, a good tackle by Matt Blair.
And that is officially marked at exactly the 30-yard line indeed. The Beefeaters have 2:50 to work with for the rest of this first half. 3 receivers on the near side of the field, just 1 on the high side. Trying to pass, McCallum. Looking to spin out of pressure, brought down to the line of scrimmage. And that could have been close, just about 30 yards down the field. There was a Beefeater on the field. Either way, tackle to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, but you'll see here on the replay, this is a run-pass option, and all the O-linemen get down the field. You see 3 or 4, number 50 at the bottom of our screen. If that ball was thrown, there's likelihood he would have been coming back anyway, because that ball was either going to be thrown quick or it's run quick. It wasn't run quick and it wasn't thrown quick, so they got away with one there, but good defense from the Fratmen.
Clock rolling once more for 2nd and 10. McCallum throws out of the pressure, finds a man deep and spins. It's caught. Brought down at about the 40-yard line. The tackle, Dante Fornasario, but able to find the electrifying Spence in coverage for the reception.
That's a good job by McCallum staying in the pocket. There was pressure, and he needed time, and he had to step into a hit there, and that ball got catapulted right over the top of the defender. Good throw, good catch, great play.
And for Mitch Spence, just 9 receptions entering tonight. However, he's been able to get already 200 yards in those receptions. That's an average just under 24 yards a reception. Just around the corner is St. Clair College Athletic Sports for the St. Clair Saints as they get ready to start their 2019-20 basketball and volleyball seasons. Beefeaters Productions will have your coverage of all the Saints' home games starting on October the 18th with volleyball action against Mohawk. Be sure to tune in on your exclusive home to watch the 2020 OCAA Women's Basketball Championships. 2:19 to go in this first half with the ball placed at the 40-yard line. That was London's last time out of the half moments ago here, Badie.
Yeah, and I think they called the timeout because McCallum was cramping. He went right to the sideline. The team called the timeout, but I saw the trainers working on it, and it looked like they were trying to stretch out his lower leg, and it's just a classic type cramp stretch. We're not sure if that's the case, but he does look like he's coming back into the huddle right now.
McCallum back into the huddle indeed. As he'll set up with this very good field position after the good reception and catch by Spence. Keep an eye on Spence. He sets up on the slot that's around the middle of your screen in the motion. To the ground they go this time. Vane Bell off to the races. Across the 20 into the red zone he is. Knocked down around that 20.
And I'm shocked they don't do that a lot more just from him in the backfield. They've used him today on the jet sweeps. He has a natural ability of, exploding through any type of hole. And that one, once he saw it, he accelerated, and the Fratmen defense had really no chance if they didn't have some immediate pressure there. And that was just an easy run for 20-some-odd yards.
And Tazzy able to get the rush to the 19-yard line. So London inside the red zone, looking to tie things back up. Back to Vane Bell on a halfback draw. Brought down at about the 15-yard line on the decent rush. 2:05 to go in the first half.
Looks like Lawaya is just holding his right leg or right hip. He's limping a little bit, but now you can see the explosiveness of this young man we talked about earlier. Wasn't really shown earlier. The Fratmen did a good job of keeping him in check, but those last two plays have shown that he is the workhorse that they need him to be.
Indeed, now they have Vane Bell and as a slot back. Looking to pass McCallum to Vane Bell in the end zone, and a coverage intercepted. Picked off by Windsor inside the Beefeaters end zone.
Yeah, that's Dante Fornaserio, number 30 for the Fratmen. And this is the same thing we were critical of Allen earlier, not looking off. McCallum looked at his big play player, Tazzy Vang Bell, the entire time. And that was triple coverage. There was under, outside, and middle coverage. In the middle deep third, that was Fornaserio who came over, attacked the high point of it, and another turnover negating a good scoring position, because they would have been definitely in field goal range there. And now the Fratmen have a timeout and a minute 40, and they're explosive. If they hit a deep one, they could stretch this lead out without question.
And if they can capitalize on this, this could be a game changer the rest of the way, or a momentum setter. Heading to the locker rooms, a minute 41 to go with the interception. The ball placed at the 20-yard line. 3 in the motion. To the ground they go to Prier. And a gain of a couple. Marked down around the 22-yard line to make it second and long.
Yeah, and again, there's some rhythm that I'd like to see from the offensive line. They're firing out. They're aggressively attacking the defensive line. There was a double team that pushed and cleared the D tackle out. But one of those guys has to chip to that linebacker, because the linebacker's just sitting waiting for Prier to make his move. And if you're going to run between the tackles, you got to work your way to the linebacker at some point.
And now on the 2nd and 8, we'll see if they stick to the ground or if they go for the pass on the lawn. Allen looking to pass over the top into coverage, broken up. That time intended for Hayes Williams, makes it 3rd down. So what looked to be a potential momentum builder instead burns about only 15 seconds off the possession clock.
Yeah, and that was a quick 2 and out. Now they're going to have to punt here, which is going to give the Beefeaters probably pretty good field position. As long as nothing crazy happens, my guess is they're going to have it around midfield, give or take 5 or 7 yards.
And hold on a second, they say there was a flag on the play. Yes, they are saying, I believe, a face mask. This is going to move the sticks.
Unnecessary roughness, face max. Up 15, first down, 18.
And they said number 18 on the play. That it's Ryan Croce, I believe that was.
We didn't see a flag up here, so obviously there was one thrown, and a huge break for the Fratmen as they reset the downs.
Huge break indeed, gets them to the 37-yard line for 1st and 10 with a minute 13 to go in the half. So what could have been a punt situation might be a chance for a second opportunity. Holmes moves to the right side of the field. Allen looking to throw. Up the middle, nearly intercepted. Batted around the ground and ruled incomplete.
And that was the linebacker again for the visitors, number 40, who came in, Dan Fitzgerald, and disrupted the pass. Colton Allen again tried to zero in on it, and the linebacker was dropping to his hook curl area. And if this ball was maybe a shade lower, Fitzgerald was in a great position, maybe jump it and pick it the other way. Needless to say, he does get credit with the batted ball, and that makes 2nd and long.
So the near interception from Allen is now a possible 3rd chance for 2nd and 10. Still at 37-yard line, 3 receivers in the motion. Prier to block, Allen to throw. To no man's land, incomplete.
clear-cut miscommunication. There was a stop route run by the receiver. Quarterback threw the go route. Next thing you know, it's to no man. Like you said, that land was wide open with no one in sight. Now they're going to have to punt as there are no flags on this play.
Well, so to speak, there was no Fratmen in the area. There was a sea of red, though.
Yeah, and when you're the white throwing the ball, that's not what you want to see.
No, it is not. With a minute 3 to go, special teams unit back out again. One blocker brought towards the offensive line. Kicking it away from the 25-yard line. And a booming punt. Bounces to the 35. Return man jukes a couple times, brought down to the 43. And London gets the ball back, but 50 seconds left in the first half here.
Very good punt. Very lucky for the Beefeaters that this ball did not turn over and go deeper into their own end, as it settled in and allowed the return man to pick up about 5 or 6 yards after first contact. And that still was a good turnover of the field position. Because remember, the Beefeaters were inside the 20 2.5 minutes ago.
Yeah, and now they have the ball at the 43. And we'll see if they can capitalize here. 14-7 your score for the Fratmen over the Beefeaters. McCallum finds his man complete at about the 50. Late flag on the play. And that was on the tackle, and we'll have to see if that's against Windsor.
Yeah, I think you're going to get Jalen Butcher here with a head tackle, which is going to tack on 15 yards from the end of the catch.
Yeah, it looked like he grabbed around the head. At least from up here on the tackle, the officials discussing that now. Here comes the official call.
You had unnecessary roughness. Defense up 15 yards. First down.
And player safety, a definite key in part for that. That also gives the Beefeaters back the ball inside Fratmen territory.
Yeah, and it's my understanding those are the type of penalties that cost them up in London. So they're going to have to clean that up in the second half.
Yes, indeed. Penalties could be an absolute killer. Ball at the 47-yard line for 1st and 10. Quick throw brought down near the 40. So the quick throw to the receiver brought down for 2nd and medium.
Yeah, the receiver got tackled immediately, and it looks like he rolled an ankle as he walks off the field gingerly.
Yes, indeed. That is Spencer Foster. That is now going to the sideline for 2nd and 5. The man coming back in is Connor DiPodesta. Connor B. Batesta sets up on the left side of the field, but keep an eye towards the outside. Spence with single man coverage sets up. Quick throw to the left side of the field, incomplete. Looks like they went to DiPodesta as he came off the sideline, incomplete regardless.
Well, I'll give the Beefeaters a little bit of credit. They are picking up the heat. The Fratmen are bringing extra rushers, and that came right off the corner. Or at least off the edge. It wasn't the corner who came, but it looked like it was the half who walked in. But they're picking it up and at least giving McCollum a chance to get rid of the ball.
They'll set up for 3rd and 5. They'll go for it. Thane Bell, Waller, Spence set up on the near side of the field. All 3 of them in the motion. McCollum tries to step up, scrambles on his own. Across the 25. Around the 30, he goes out of bounds. Enough for a first down. Placed it at the 32.
And this time, Coach Morency does not dial up the blitz. He only brings 4. He drops in the coverage and effectively took away every passing lane, but no one spied the quarterback, and the quarterback was able to easily get the yardage and get out of bounds, which is going to give them extra seconds on the clock because he saves them time.
With that, it gets him to the 32-yard line. 20 seconds underneath that on the clock. 3 back in the motion. McCollum, quick throw to the left, incomplete. That time, found a man on the short route. Makes it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, they've went to that play 3 or 4 times in the last 7 or 8. And you got Jalen Butcher who's just settling in. I don't know if they're setting something up to slip right up that B seam where Jalen Butcher's coming up hard. But if they don't, Butcher's going to pick one off soon.
Yeah, Butcher's been there. Especially as you mentioned, the same play, looking like the same play scheme for about the past few plays. Eventually, somebody's going to predict the route right place it's going. 2nd and 10. McCollum throws a man, finds his man in Waller. Inside the 10. Tries to push forward, brought down at about the 5-yard line with just 7 seconds on the clock.
Well, here's the quick decision here for the coaches. They don't have a timeout, so the sticks have to get down, and they're going to have to give them a second to get set.
And the Fratmen called the timeout.
Oh, I don't know if I like that.
And
I don't know if I like that because with this much time left, they're going to get at least 2 plays now. I think if you were going to call the timeout, let the clock get blown in and burn 2 or 3 seconds off, which means now London has one option. Either, well, 2 options, but they got to pick only one. Either go for it or kick the field goal. Now they can try, as you see here, the standings, 3 teams tied in essence with only 1 loss at the top.
And again, this game has a lot of implications, not just for whoever hosts a playoff game, mind you, but potentially, depending on how things swing, who's the number 1 seed by the postseason.
Yeah, well, because here's the deal. Whoever wins the conference is going to play Ottawa, Niagara, or GTA. And not to disrespect those 3 teams, those 3 teams aren't good, comparatively speaking. So whoever the 1 seed is going to have an easier route. The 2 and the 3, you're going to have to be in a battle just like this one.
And it's been an absolute battle. Can London find the end zone? 1st and goal at the 5, just 7 seconds on the clock. 3 receivers in the motion. McCollum, short route, finds his man in the end zone. Touchdown, Beefeaters. And pending the extra point, we're tied back up with just 2 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, that's Daniel Jaffe, number 81, who caught that from McCollum on a quick little in-cut. Uncontested. There was no one really in the way. He pretty much turned in, stopped in that B-seam. Touchdown.
And that's the 2nd time the Beefeaters have found him in pay dirt for a receiving touchdown tonight. 4th on the season. But the extra point attempt, this would tie things up at 14 apiece. Kick is up. Kick is through the uprights. It blows towards the left, rather.
It is no good, Justin. It was blown off by the head referee, Bruce Carter. He immediately singled. That was wide. So the Fratmen do keep the lead at 14-13 here. And obviously with the ensuing kickoff, unless something crazy happens, this is going to be the halftime score.
14-13 with the missed extra point. And the wind has been gusting much of the day today towards the left of those uprights and a bit towards the hillside. And that comes into play there.
Yeah, as you see in our screen, number 54, that's Chris Patton. He's the umpire today. He must be exhausted. He was on this field earlier for the 1 o'clock game between the Lancers and the Western Mustangs, and he was the umpire in that game. So he's double dipping. 3 of these referees did the earlier game, but Chris is the umpire, and that's a lot of running around to do. So he had 3 hours earlier. He's going to have 3 hours today. So he's going to be one tired fella tomorrow.
Still 2 seconds left, though, in this first half as the Beefeaters get ready to kick it back to the Fratmen. Couple players switch sides of the field for this kickoff. They're going for the onside kick. Flag is up on the play. Beefeaters did get it, but it didn't travel enough yards. So 2 flags now pop up.
Yeah, so you're going to get offside, and then you're going to get illegal kick because it went directly out of bounds. That means the ball's going to go on the 50-yard line, and the Fratmen are going to have a chance to throw a Hail Mary from the 50-yard line, or at least one more play. I don't agree with the moonshot. Yeah. So you get the offside and a procedural play. A kick out of bounds is illegal procedure, which means they're going to get the ball at the spot where it went out of bounds. and they're going to get an untimed down here. I don't know why you kick a moonshot, even if you recover it. You're not getting any plays out of it.
Yeah, I'm confused a bit too here on the decision making. Here's the call.
Hit offside on the kickoff. That penalty's declined. We had procedure, kickoff out of bounds, taking the ball where we're out. First down.
So this is going to be interesting. Ball placed at the 50. Daniel Mayu has been brought in for the last play of the half.
Yeah, see, Coach LaChance is asking why it's at the 50. It looked like it should have been closer to midfield. That ball, I don't think, sailed 15 full yards.
No.
I thought that ball maybe went 12 yards. It should be up 5 more yards. But the referees do believe they have the right spot. So they're saying, hey, you have an untimed down here, and do what you can.
Hail Mary throw to end the first half. 5 receivers on the field. Mayu looking to throw. Throws the cannon to Paintsill. Bobbled around, incomplete. And that'll end off the first half. The Windsor Fratmen lead 14-13 over the London Beefeaters after 30 minutes of play. Halftime coverage coming up after these messages. You're watching We Digital Productions from Windsor, Ontario.
I want to understand why.
I want this to be perfect. I want to be inspired.
I want to be challenged.
No matter the reason, our passion to learn brought us here.
Hi, I'm Curtis Joseph, former NHL goalie.
Windsor goes down. Look front the Fratmen drive the save. Pass to the nice shot to the save. He's right in. Oh, and stops it behind the net. Marksman wipes it right in front. Talking shoots. Oh, and what a save!
You're watching We Digital.
Hi, I'm Josie, and I'm your co-host of the We Digital production, We Now. Anyone interested in promoting a business, an event, a book signing, or maybe even just making aware of the movers and shakers of Windsor, Essex County, We Now can do that for you. We'll get your word out. So make sure you email me at josie@we-tv.ca to book an in-studio session that will air live on Facebook. And don't forget to check out our social media. We've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube.
Welcome back to Alumni Field, the site of OFC football here on We Digital Productions. A dandy game going on. First half in the books between the London Beefeaters and the Windsor AKO Fratmen. Fratmen leading it 14-13. Very pleased to be joined at our halftime break with the coach Austin Scarpelli of the London Beefeaters. I guess, Coach, fair to say this is everything we expected tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got two teams really playing for playoff position, and we knew we were going to get coming into today. I mean, it's going to be a dogfight.
You came into this game after defeating the Fratmen, about 2-3 weeks ago. You won at TD Waterhouse 41-34. What do you take out of that game and have to bring to here tonight?
Well, we know they can make a big play at any time. They did it to us last time we played them. It's going to be kind of the same thing. We got to stay disciplined on our end because they have a lot of talented athletes on the offensive side, and we just got to stay disciplined.
Talk to me about your lineup this year. Obviously, an outstanding campaign so far, Coach Scarpelli. What's made your team successful?
We have a lot of good leaders, veteran guys. Tanner Gaskell, safety. Fitzy, Daniel Fitzgerald, linebacker. Spencer Foster, our quarterbacks. We got two quarterbacks and playing a lot. Running backs, Tazzy, Felix, Danny. just a lot of guys bringing that leadership every night to practice, and that's kind of making a difference for us.
Yeah, depth is always a good thing, isn't it?
Absolutely. Our D-line, I mean, we're looking at 12 guys in the rotation, which we haven't seen in a few years. So it's been a blessing.
Is there a resurgence for this program back home?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of buzz back home. I hope it stays. Right, that's one of those things. We're starting to create a little energy around the program, and hopefully we can keep building on that.
All right. I know you can't go into a lot of detail here, Coach Scarpelli, but what do you got to do in the second half to ensure a victory here?
Again, it's kind of stay disciplined. They have so many playmakers. We have to be able to kind of keep it contained, keep it bottled up, and prevent the big ones because they're capable at any moment. So if we keep that, stay disciplined, in the field position, and position yourself to be there at the end.
Appreciate your time here
Awesome.
tonight,
Thank
Coach.
you so
Good luck
much.
the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Okay, Austin Scarpelli. I'm going to bring in Associate Head Coach here, Mike Morency of the Fratmen. I guess half what we thought, Coach, going to be tooth and nail here. We knew this wasn't going to be an easy game in any way. Give me your quick assessment of the first half here.
I thought we were awful.
Okay.
I thought we were just absolutely awful. Little things. I mean, I don't know how you give up a slant on the goal line. You work on it all week long and you give up the inside stuff. But the little things are killing us. And, we got to get them straightened out. We got a new corner in there. Elijah Blythe is not dressed tonight. So, we're playing some younger kids, but you can't give up easy stuff like that. It's kind of common sense football, and we're not doing a real good job. But we'll fix it at halftime and come out and see if we can get it together. But we've got to stop turning the ball over as well. I mean, that's hurt us a lot in the first half.
What was vital for you and Coach LaChance, Coach Morency, coming into this game tonight after the game in London? 41-34 setback. What was vital that you had to change in this game tonight? To get over that hump and find a victory?
I think just play with more composure. We showed a real lack of composure when we were up there, and I think we, for the most part, we've done a pretty good job tonight of walking away from stuff and not getting involved in the extracurricular stuff. So that's been good, but we just got to finish plays, man. We missed a third and a foot. We couldn't convert that. Two brutal INTs, and we not getting our hands up on our pass rush. We're not finishing stuff. It's just a litany of things. Again, it's all small stuff. It's all fixable. But you got to want to fix it.
I guess the obvious question, then, Coach Morency, what brings that on? I mean, you look at the talent of this Fratmen team. I know you and Coach LaChance believe in these guys, and the talent's there. What brings that on?
It's nervousness. I mean, it's something young kids. Well, we've got a very young team still. Guys got to get over that nervousness of that situation, a moment, and stuff like that. And we'll be fine. But it's a learning process, a maturity process, and sometimes it's painful.
Surprised, maybe not surprised. Again, I know the talent of this Fratmen team, but you were able to move the ball pretty easily at times. I mean,
again, we just got to finish. We've done a good job from 35 to 35, but we got to get some points every time we get that opportunity. We threw away a couple opportunities to score and get up maybe by a double-digit type of thing or a two-score game. So we'll work hard and we get the ball to start. Quarter, so we got to get out there and do what we do best: mix the run and pass, and kind of hit the short stuff too. We're just kind of bombing away, mad bomb all times. Take some of the short stuff and kind of move it down the field 13, 14 yards at a clip.
All right. Good luck, Coach. Appreciate your time. I'll talk to you. Coach Mike Morency of the IKO Fratmen. His team in tough here tonight. This is a huge game for both these teams. First place on the line. 14-13 is our score at halftime. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, the head coach of the University of Windsor Lancers, J.P. Tricelli, will join us. You're watching OFC Football on We Digital Productions.
I want to understand why.
I want this to be perfect.
I want to be inspired.
I want to be challenged.
No matter the reason, our passion to learn brought us here.
Hi, I'm Curtis Joseph, former NHL goalie.
Butcher goes down. Look front the Fratmen drive the save. Pass to the nice shot to the save. And he's right in. Oh, and stops it behind the net. Marksman wipes it right in front. Talking shoots. Oh, and what a save!
And you're watching We Digital. Hi, I'm Curtis Joseph, former
Welcome back to Alumni Field. some of the fans here tonight. That's one of the best looking fans, I'd say. That's Toby, the unofficial mascot of the AKO Fratmen, taking in the game tonight. And Toby's looking pretty good. Also, a man here tonight with us, the head coach of the University of Windsor Lancers, J.P. Tricelli, who worked hard this afternoon, came up on the short end. It was all London today, London-Windsor today in football. The Mustangs come in, win 58-29, but a very spirited effort put together by our Lancers. Thanks for doing this with us, Coach Tricelli. Nice to have you on our broadcast. Quick comment on the game today, how you thought it went overall for your guys?
I was really impressed with the effort. The guys showed up, they battled, and to have the number one team in the country on the ropes till halftime, and we had a lead there right until the final minute. It was impressive effort, and at the end, they just have a few more horses than we do, so they kind of took over in the second half, but our guys didn't quit, and they still put a couple of good drives together. So overall, very proud with the effort, and it shows our guys we're not that far off. We can compete. We just got to keep working.
All right. And talk about working hard. Coach Tricelli, he leaves the stadium, puts the little ones to bed, and it comes back to take in some football. You've got close ties to both of these organizations now, Coach.
Yeah, definitely. There's a number of kids with the Beefeaters that we've coached in the past, and obviously now with the new connections with AKO, and our backup kicker is the starting kicker, Sam Richardson here, and another player, Brendan Fountain's also playing with the offensive line for AKO. So we want to just continue those relationships and obviously try and get the top players from both junior teams coming to Windsor.
Yeah, that'd be nice. There's some good-looking players out here tonight, that's for sure. One thing you've done, Coach, since coming into Windsor, you've made those ties. I know when you arrived here earlier in the year, you met up with a lot of the high school coaches. I know you've had a lot of dialogue with Coach Morency here. I mean, the importance of that goes without saying, but how has it gone for you, and do you see it coming together the way you want?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is, you come to a place like Windsor, there's a lot of great football, high school, at the junior level, in the summer, and you got to have those relationships. And at the end of the day, I've told a lot of people it's not about the ego for me. It's amazing what you can accomplish when you don't care who gets credit. So we just want to keep that going and keep everyone in Windsor. It's a great community, and we want all our teams to continue to thrive here.
Yeah, well, and we want the Lancers thriving, that's for sure. Quick thoughts about this game here, Coach. 14-13, we knew it was going to be a nail-biter, and boy, the second half's shaping up to probably going to be a pretty good one.
Yeah, it might come down to who makes the fewest mistakes, and obviously it was a big one. London does score, but right at the end, missed the extra point, and those points, as we know, can loom large in a game like this. So I think it's going to be whoever makes the least amount of mistakes. Maybe that's an easy way to say it, but with both teams having such firepower back and forth, it might come down to that.
I want to give a plug to the game next week for the Lancers. They're homecoming next weekend against Laurier. Very important game. We got to pack this place. It's a very important game for the Lancers against Laurier. Still have a chance to get in the playoffs. That game could go a long way for the team, Coach.
Yeah, it's big. You see a number of teams with 2 and 3 wins right now, and we're kind of a logjam right now. If we can pull that off, and then again, later on with Ottawa, there's always an outside chance. But the big one is we just want to finish strong, and obviously with homecoming, get as many people here as possible and do them proud, have a great experience.
Well, the team deserves it. They've worked really hard this year. You've got things going in a really good direction. Throw the record out. This team's working really hard. They're very competitive, playing some really exciting football, and it's thanks to Coach Tricelli and his staff. Good luck next week, Coach. We'll talk down the road.
Yes.
And we're going to take a quick time. When we come back, second half action. It's the Beefeaters and the Fratmen on OFC TV on We Digital Productions.
Hi, I'm Josie, and I'm your co-host of the We Digital production, We Now. Anyone interested in promoting a business, an event, a book signing, or maybe even just making aware of the movers and shakers of Windsor, Essex County, We Now can do that for you. We'll get your word out. So make sure you email me at josie@we-tv.ca to book an in-studio session that will air live on Facebook. And don't forget to check out our social media. We've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube.
I want to understand why.
I want this to be perfect.
I want to be inspired.
I want to be challenged.
No matter the reason, our passion to learn brought us here.
Hi, I'm Curtis Joseph, former NHL goalie.
Windsor goes down. Look front the Fratmen drive the save. It's a nice shot to the save. He's right in. Oh, and stops it behind the net. Marksman wipes it right in front. Talking shoots. Oh, and what a save!
You're watching We Digital.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Rose City for more coverage of OFC football between the Windsor Fratmen and the London Beefeaters. 14-13 Fratmen is your score here on We Digital Productions as we're about to start the second half here at Alumni Field. Justin Prince alongside Badi Quaz as we get all set for more coverage of OFC action. Still 30 minutes of action, and it's still a tight one. Could go either way.
Absolutely. In essence, it's a tie game, even though they missed the extra point. I have a hard time believing the score is going to stay 14-13 for the balance of this game. That being said, it was a mistake-filled half. Both teams made enough errors for the balance of the game. So let's see which team goes out in the second half and takes care of the ball and executes a little bit more closely.
Yeah, each team having a few turnovers and some crucial penalties pop up, but the Fratmen are set to return to start off the second half. Beefeaters will kick it away after getting the first possession of the night. All set to go for the second half. 3 returnmen back for Windsor, while John Kurt Andrianaki sets up for the kickoff. Andrianaki given the signal, boots it away back to the Fratmen. Picked up around the 20-yard line by Lewis. Lewis up the middle, brought down just past the 40. So Fratmen with decent field position. We've seen both quarterbacks make some mistakes in that first half. This time, it looks like they'll go at the quarterback spot with Colton Allen.
I love that return by Dante Lewis. Once he got the ball in his hands, he went straight up the field. He picked up big chunk yardage and has set up his team in pretty good field position. As you said, Colton Allen is at the pivot.
Able to find the end zone 1 or 2 times. Had a couple interceptions, though, in the passing game. Both quarterbacks as they set up for 1st and 10 to the 43. Allen scrambling. Pump fakes. Throws on the motion at the last moment. Did he get to Holmes for the completion? Looks like yes, around the 49.
That was a great job of Cody Holmes coming back and working in those scramble rules here. Colton Allen wants to throw the ball to him early, but it's taken away. So he scrambles to his right, and it looked like he almost tripped himself on this pump fake. And then he lost his balance a little, gathered it back, and found Holmes cutting across back towards him. And he did indeed corral it, and does give him a second and more than manageable.
Actually pumped up one of our camera crew members there from that pump fake on the jump. Gain of 6 on the reception as passing again is Allen. Finds Hayes Williams on up for first down as he's knocked out of bounds.
And that has been there a lot this game. These London defensive backs are not up in a press and they're not challenging the receivers because they're worried about their athleticism going vertical. So I know Coach LaChance is going to make a concerted effort to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick. Predetermined reads. If a guy's playing 13 yards off, run a hook at 6, catch, and hopefully you break a tackle just like Hayes Williams did there.
And that reception marked down to the 52-yard line. Enough to move the sticks. First down of Q number 3. Allen looking to the left, feeling pressure, going to Paintsill, incomplete. Paintsill inside the 30 on the near completion.
Yeah, and that one I think Colton Allen hesitated just a little bit. And because he hesitated just a little bit, he ended up not getting a lot, not able to get his body fully into the throw, and it clearly comes up short in one hop to his intended receiver, Paintsill.
And Boko, the coverage man on the play. And now that will set up 2nd and 10. Just past 90 seconds into the 3rd quarter here on We Digital Productions as Allen looks to pass. Throwing it down the right sideline, single man coverage incomplete. Hayes Williams, the intended receiver, as that brings out the special teams unit.
Yeah, so they had success the first couple downs throwing underneath, got first down, cross midfield, and then they go vertical 2 times in a row and incomplete. Your percentages go way down when you go vertical too often. They got that to them early in the game, but they have not had much success of late, and that's going to send up a punting situation. If the Fratmen are lucky, they're going to be able to pin the Beefeaters deep for their first possession.
Brendan Bondi back to punt once again for the Fratmen. Had a busy first 30 minutes. This time able to get it just in time away. Picked up with the return around the 18-yard line. Beefeaters trying to find space. 1 tackle broken. Pushing forward. Brought down around the 26. So the Beefeaters offense back to the field. And a late flag on the play.
Yeah, so we're going to have to see if this is going to be on. It looked like it was Jalen Butcher for the Fratmen and number 15 for the visitors, Fernando De La Rosa on the replay. Here you'll see the punt, which is a good punt. You want to kick it to a sideline. You want to get it at or outside the numbers, which he accomplishes. It looks like it's Ryan who comes down on the first contact, and if he can make that tackle there, he's going to have him pinned at the 20. But the indication is going to be against the Beefeaters. Here's the official call.
Yeah, unnecessary roughness, late hit. London backing it up 15, first down.
So an early mistake, Justin, which the punt didn't pin them inside their own 20, but the penalty does push them all the way back to their own 10.
So with that penalty, 1st and 10 at the 10. Need to get to the 20-yard line. 3 receivers set up on the near side of the field. Just 1 up towards the top of the screen. Fullback moves up to block. To the ground they go on 1st and 10. Gain of a few that time for Bernie.
Yeah, picked up about 4. He was tripped up. If not, it looked like there was a cutback lane. You'll see here on the replay that he ends up just getting tripped up enough. It looked like it was big number 92 for the Fratmen, Jordan Krug, who made the tackle.
2nd and 5. Approaching 3 minutes into the 2nd half. Fratmen looking to make a good defensive stand. 3 receivers making 4 in the motion. McCollum looking to throw. Goes over the top to Spence. Into double coverage. Waved incomplete. Squeezing out of the last moment. That makes it 3rd and 5.
He was lucky that wasn't intercepted because that ball was not thrown very well. But it looked like Fornaserio was just a little too deep and was unable from his free safety position to come up and attack it. It was Jalen Butcher who had the underneath coverage there who came up and broke up the play.
Yeah, and that makes it, again, the special teams unit battle more so. Lewis and Paintsill back to return. We'll see what they elect to do, if they elect to punt it or take the safety. Again, just a 1-point lead for Windsor. And the Fratmen bring 1 last player in before the snap. Punt taking place around the goal line. Booted towards the sideline, goes out of bounds. And that is great field position for Windsor.
Yeah, he shanked it. You don't want to say the word, but they end up from where they scrimmaged, moving the ball 17 yards, and the Fratmen are set up at the 30, well deep into the Beefeaters zone here. So we'll see if the Fratmen can capitalize from a good defensive set and a poor special team execution from the Beefeaters.
Now, in this good field position, what do you do as a quarterback? Because Mayu is into the game for this drive.
Well, you have to take what the defense gives you, Justin. There's been a lot of underneath routes. I think the middle of the field is a little more open than the outside right now because they're over coverage to Cody Holmes, and they're playing off coverage on most receivers.
And we'll see how they are on the 1st and 10. 3 receivers back in the motion. Mayu pump fakes, throws towards the right center. And that one nearly headed towards the fencing, incomplete.
Yeah, and again, that's just, you're taking your shot there, and I don't think the matchup is there right now. They're playing so far off. So I'd like to see maybe some sort of combo route where you run vertical, but then you get somebody on a comeback or a stop route or an out from the slot.
And now because of that, it's now 2nd and 10 at the 30. Looked like that was intended for Hayes Williams last time. Mayu brings 3 receivers back in the motion. Again to pass. Feeling lots of pressure. Gets it off just in time, incomplete. Makes it 3rd and 10, so the drive goes nowhere.
And that time, I think the Fratmen had the right play call, but were unable to execute. They're setting up a screen here, and it's right into a blitz. They have to get that running back out, and I'm going to take a little bit of criticism here towards Nash Prier, the running back. He got pinched inside. He's got to widen himself out to get in a more visible passing lane for his quarterback on that little running back screen, but they had a lot of green grass over there, and I think it was the right call at the right time. Not executed well because the pressure got there.
And because they didn't get to decent field position for Richardson, who has missed a field goal at this range, they're going to punt it away. Ins at the 30-yard line. Bundy steps to the right, boots it away. Tries to get to the coffin corner, whistle blown.
Yeah, they're probably going to mark it right around the 15, 16-yard line. So, and that is indeed the case. Not terrible, but, I mean, you started at the 30. You want to walk away with points, and they did not. That is a check mark in the positive column for the Beefeaters because their defense held after their special teams gaffe.
And now London gets it back at the 15. So point of it, a hot potato with about 10 minutes in closing towards the end of this 3rd quarter. Beefeaters set up again with 3 wide receivers on the near side of the field. Vane Bell in the slot back position. Blocker move from right side to the left of McCallum. This time, hands it off. On the ground, gain of about 6. Danny Burney that time on the rush for 2nd and 4.
Yeah, and it looked like it was Matt O'Neill, the end outside linebacker, who was able to slide in and make that tackle on that run option play, and that is indeed the case. A good first down run, though. They picked up almost a full 6.
And Barney has actually had the most carries, as mentioned, on the season for the team. 381 yards, just shy of Vane Bell's total. Back to the ground, running back trips. And that play loses them a yard or so. 3rd and medium.
I'm not sure if it was going to gather much yardage because it looked like there was some Fratmen in the hole anyway.
Tonight's coverage is presented by Harold Remark and Royal LePage Binder Real Estate. With more than 20 years of experience, Harold can help you find your perfect home or property. Contact him today by phone at 509-733-1028 or view his current listings at RoyalLePageBinder.com. Fratmen about to get the ball back on the punt. Booted away for about the 5-yard line. Lewis gets it at the 47. No yards flag put up on the play as he gets brought down quickly.
Yeah, so this is going to give the Fratmen, once again, great field position. That's going to be the 15-yard variety because Dante Lewis was aggressive in attacking that punt. So from the spot where he caught the ball, he's going to go up 15, so it's going to be near the 30-yard line again.
Here's the call.
No yards. kicking team. Moving it up 15, first down.
And now you have to wonder, can they capitalize? Last time, just moments ago, mind you, they didn't even move a yard. This time, they're just shy of where they were at the 31.
Yeah, so far we've had 7 minutes almost off this game clock, and the Fratmen have had great field position and nothing to show for it. So let's see if they can, like you said, capitalize.
1st and 10, 8:35 in the third quarter. Allen hands it off to Nash Breer. Pushes forward to the line, tackled for a gain of about 4. 2nd and medium.
Yeah, that was very close to going the distance, and it looked like it was number 40 once again, Dan Fitzgerald, who made the tackle. They ran a little counter play here. You'll see on the replay the left guard and left tackle are going to pull around the horn, and he's able to get through the hole, but it was indeed number 40 who got in there on the tackle, and that has to be one of the right side offensive linemen coming down on that inside linebacker.
Fitzgerald has been very active, as we've seen. 2nd and 7. Allen finds a man open. End zone, dropped the ball at the goal line. And they're whistling the ball dead. They're saying incomplete since he didn't complete the full completion of the catch. Paintsill was the receiver.
Well, we're going to have to take a look at this replay here. They're calling an incomplete pass, which is one thing. But I thought he actually had possession as he took 2 steps here on the catch. And it looked like he broke the plane of the goal line. It was awfully close. So that the call was an incomplete pass. The offense is going to stay on the field. It was very close, so I can't be too critical of the referees there. It looked like he had broken the plane, but maybe he just didn't have full secure possession of it. They just as easily could have called that a fumble as well. So this one was a good incomplete pass, I guess, for the Fratmen.
4th and 7. The crowd going crazy in Windsor. Allen has flags pop up. He gets popped.
But it's a free play. The Beefeaters were clearly offside there, so they're going to get 5 yards here. I just would have liked to seen Colton Allen do an Aaron Rodgers there. Throw it up. You know you got them offside, and maybe you get a pass interference, or maybe your guy can make you look great. We'll see here on the replay.
We had offside. Defense moving it up 5 yards. Still 3rd down.
3rd and short, but take a look at this.
Now, here's the thing. You can actually kick a field goal now. You're inside the 30, so that is an option, but it looks like they're going to go heavy, and there's the replay where Colton Allen got hit pretty hard.
Terrell Pierce with the hit, and they're going to stay on the field. 3rd and short. Needing to get to the 21-yard line. Nash Breer on the ground. Tries to cut left. Tackle to the backfield for a turnover on downs. And a loss of 3 gives the ball back to London again.
And we'll see here on the replay, Nash Breer turns his feet simply because the initial penetration took the lead blocker out, and there was nothing to press inside the hole, and he had to turn it to the outside, and that was number 9, Tanner Gaskill-Catterwaller, who made the tackle for a loss and a turnover on downs, and that is 2 consecutive possessions deep in the Beefeater zone, and to walk away with 0 points.
And already, some of the coaching staff on the Fratmen sideline have already picked up some of the whiteboards after what has been a back and forth punting or turnover affair in this second half so far. London with the ball now at the 25-yard line after the turnover on downs. Again, fullback moves up to the line. Keeping it, quarterback rush. Across the 45, brought down to about the 47. And Clark McCollum with the scramble on the QB design rush. Gets the first.
Believe it or not, Justin, this was a broken play. Watch McCallum here on this replay. Turn and fake to nobody. Okay, no one's there. Oh, wait a minute. Then he ends up getting a lead blocker from the guy he was supposed to fake to. So it was a broken play, and he ended up picking up, 20 yards on that?
Yeah. Again, was about the 25-yard line, got more than 20 yards. Made it look like it was a design play, but the efficiency of the scramble. 1st and 10 at the 47, Vane Bell on the jet sweep. Trying to cut again to the left side. Knocked out of bounds by the frontman, Thomas Lynch. Able to knock him out of bounds.
Yeah, Van Bell was stretched out completely. Again, it looked like it was Blake Olette who helped stretch that out, but the young man ended up running almost 40 yards across the field to pick up maybe 2 yards. As you see that you have number 54 just forcing, and then the help comes, and that was number 20 who ended up making the push out of bounds, and that was Dalmas Lynch.
2 yards is the pickup as mentioned for 2nd and 8. Approaching 5 minutes to go in quarter number 3 on Wheat Digital Productions. Handed back off to Bernie. Tries to push towards the middle. Able to get a gain of at least 4, maybe 5, but still short.
Yeah, and based on the way the Beefeaters have been punting and that play call, it looks like they're going for it. Why are you going to run it on 2nd down and 8 and not go for it on 3rd down? So that's indeed the case. The coach already made his mind up. We're going for it on 3rd down regardless. So this is a riverboat gamble right here.
Question is, would the riverboat gamble pay off? 3rd and 5. 3 in the motion. Looking to throw. Pressure coming. Incomplete. And another turnover on downs.
Yeah, I'm not sure with a 1-point lead, or deficit in this case, I wouldn't have punted. Here's the replay. The pressure actually got to him this time, so he was thrown off his back foot as he was hit, so the ball was clearly behind the defender, and that looked like it was Blake Olette who did indeed knock that thing down, number 54. Good job by the defense all around holding. Now let's see if the offense, again, on the plus side of the field, if they can get some points.
Chaffee was the intended receiver, but Fratmen get the ball back again. A napkin blows on by. Can the Fratmen blow through the coverage? Allen throwing to Paintsill. Hard hit with the defensive back, incomplete. That time, Gaskill, Cadwallader again in coverage.
Yeah, we'll see here on the replay that Colton Allen's going to look to his left, and he's going to stay on his left the entire time. And that's going to allow the safety to get over the top of that 90% of the time, and he makes a break for the ball. There is a collision there, but you're going to get your guy hurt if you keep going back to that deep middle all the time like that.
Now 2nd and 10 again, and it hasn't worked all night. Again, for either quarterback so far. Allen looking to pass again. This time to the middle to Paintsill, incomplete. This time short. And another 2 and out.
Yeah, Colton Allen is disappointed with himself here on this one. He saw the blitz coming from the field side, and there was enough time for him to set his feet and throw, because that's where the blitz came from. Paintsill was open, but he just kept backpedaling and threw off his back foot, and he just doesn't have the arm strength to deliver that. If he would have stepped into it, I don't even think he was going to get hit there.
3rd and 10 again, another punt for Bondi, and this has been how it's been all third quarter. Bondi this time barely gets it off. Return for about the 18-yard line. Returnment falls out of bounds on his own to the 15.
And we have a flag on the field. Chris Patton has thrown one at the middle of the field, and it looks like it's going to be against the Beefeaters. And they did pin him inside the 20, so the ball's going to be spotted there. We'll see on the replay, which was almost blocked, Justin. They got through there, and he barely got it off here.
And just out of the range of the camera shot, there was the potential spot if that was the case.
We had objectionable conduct after the play. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
10-yard penalty, and it looks like objectionable conduct is the official ruling here.
Yeah, and it looked like it went against Windsor because the ball was kicked and initially spotted at the 11. The 10 yards is going to move it up and give them the ball at the 21-yard line. So a mistake which gets them out of their goalposts.
Then it's a majority of the snaps in this third quarter have taken place, it seems, here between the Beefeaters 10 and the Beefeaters 35.
Okay, so now I initially thought it was against the Beefeaters because that was the indication from the referee.
Yeah.
They're conferencing now, so they're going to correct it. So it was against the Beefeaters. So they're going to go from the 11, and now they're going to walk this thing back 10 full yards. So this is going to go to the 1. So my eyes first told me this was going to be, sorry, it's half the distance to the goal. So it's going to put them at around the 6.
They actually placed it about just shy of the soccer markers, those yellow lines you see here at Alumni Field, just in front of the 5. But now this is going to be interesting what play they call in this situation in the shadows of their own goal posts. One receiver next to the goal post. Going to the ground. Up the gut. Finding space. Finding tons of space. Up to the races. Across the 50. 40. Bernie brought down at the 32-yard line. And a massive run of more than 50-plus yards gets them into Fratmen territory.
And this is just an inside zone running play, and Danny Burney is able to find his way through the hole and turn on the Jets, and he breaks it through, and this is a big momentum changer as now the Beefeaters are finally on the Fratmen side of the field.
And you can see Jalen Butcher coming in and bringing him on down. If Butcher wasn't there, or even a touch bit off pace, that might have been a huge rush to the end zone. Play in action, meanwhile. Able to get a gain of a couple yards to make it 2nd and long here, but this is the first time the Beefeaters really have been inside Windsor's territory all half.
So now with this being a 2nd and
7
from the 28, if the Beefeaters don't get it, I'm going to be curious to see if they're going to try the field goal to take the outright lead or consider even trying to punt it to get that single point back that they missed earlier in the first half.
Cowbells ringing across Alumni Field. Looking to pass, quick throw, Vane Bell can't hold on to it, incomplete. Looked to go for a quick screen, just couldn't get his hands on it.
Bad throw, it was behind his receiver. You'll see on the replay, Van Bell had to reach back with his right hand for this one here, and as a result of it, he was unable to corral it, and that was indeed the case. It was a forward pass, so it's incomplete, and it looks like the offense is staying on the field, so they're electing to not try to get the single point or the outright lead. They're trying to get the sticks moved to try to put a major on the board.
I mean, they've already missed an extra point in this game so far with the wind. But at this point, chance to try and control momentum. 3 receivers on the near side of the field. McCallum looking to pass, going over the top, intercepted, picked off of the end zone again by Dante Fornasario. Brought down to the 11, his 2nd interception of the day.
All right, so we're going to see the replay here, but during this replay, Justin, I just want to, sometimes player awareness needs to come into play here. Dante Fornasario, at this point, should have just batted this ball down, because if he bats it down, they're going to get the ball at the 27-yard line. And instead, he's going to get the ball at the 10-yard line. And I think if you just, you know where you're at. It was 3rd down, and they could have bought themselves 17 more yards on the turnover on downs rather than the interception. It's hard to tell a player don't pick it off. But down in distance and the player awareness is part of the game, so I would have liked to see him bat it down.
A minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Allen stays in at quarterback. Throwing to Holmes. One-handed grab attempt incomplete. And a late flag on the play on the hit.
Yeah, this is going to get the entire Beefeater sideline in an uproar. The ball was thrown high into the outside, which was going to put Cody Holmes in a vulnerable position. But defenseless players, if you lower the crown of your head and you hit somebody in the ribs, in the back, if they're defenseless, they're going to call it every time.
You had unnecessary roughness against London. Up 15. 1st down.
And you can hear some of the boos from the London faithful who made it down the highway 401 for this one. But again, player safety has to be thought about in part in those kind of situations.
Yeah, I think if you don't put the crown of your helmet into his ribs, they're not going to call it. It looked like he lowered his head. Once you lower your eyes, they're going to call that. Maybe we can get a replay and take a closer look to see if indeed that was the case. The referees don't have the replay. We get the chance to look at it over and over again. But now the London coach, and I believe that's Jesse Maddox, who's asking for a conference, he wants clarity as to why that was a penalty.
And you're seeing him, Maddox, the man with the beard. Now talking to Bruce Carter, the referee for tonight's action. And you can see he's trying to appeal that. He was trying to go for that one-handed grab.
Yeah, and what he's just saying is like, look, my player didn't hit him in the neck. My player didn't hit him in the head. But again, I just want to see, did the defensive player use the crown of his helmet? And the replay should tell us if he used the crown of his helmet in any way, shape, or form as a weapon. And here's the replay. So close. Like he lowered his shoulder, but the helmet went to the small of the back. I think if he just wrapped up, they would have been better served.
1st and 10 of the 26. Fratmen go for the quick point of Holmes. Holmes trapped in the backfield. Loses a few yards. 2nd and long coming up.
Yeah, and that time they tried to just get it in their playmakers' hands real early, but it wasn't blocked very well by his accompanying receivers. Those guys have to get out and block earlier, and they just got driven into the backfield. In this case scenario, Cody tried to make something out of nothing, and he picked up -3.
Loss of 4 on that play. So that moves the chains back to the 22-yard line. Have to get to the 36 to move the sticks forward. Painesville amongst the players on the field. Lewis shuffling to the left side of the field. Watch him in the middle. Allen. Quick throw, incomplete. Late flag on the play. This might be a late hit on the quarterback.
It's roughing the passer for sure, but now we have looks like a London player who's down. It looked like they were trying to run a screen, and I can't tell what happened, but the player looks like he's down and in some sort of pain as the trainers are going to address that, but we definitely have roughing the passer.
Yeah, take a look.
We got unnecessary roughness on the passer. We're going up 15, 1st down. Do you want to switch it? Okay.
And you see that hit on the quarterback at the edge of that picture there. But then the last minute hit there that wasn't called for the player down.
Yeah, that probably should have been a penalty because it's an incomplete pass, and that's Kyle Jennings. Kyle Jennings is the anchor of their offensive line, and I could really see why the London sideline was upset. He steamrolled over a defenseless player, and there was no call on that. So if you're the Beefeaters, you're upset.
With that finishes off the 3rd quarter here on Weed Digital Productions. 14-13 still your score with 15 minutes to play in regulation.
Hi, I'm Josie, and I'm your co-host of the We Digital production, We Now. Anyone interested in promoting a business, an event, a book signing, or maybe even just making aware of the movers and shakers of Windsor, Essex County, We Now can do that for you. We'll get your word out. So make sure you email me at josie@we-tv.ca to book an in-studio session that will air live on Facebook. And don't forget to check out our social media. We've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube.
Jacob Mendel sent to the sideline after the hard hit as we get set to go for the start of the 4th quarter here on We Digital Productions. Justin Prince alongside Petit Quaz with the Fratmen having possession at the 37-yard line after roughing the passer. 3 receivers set up on the far side of the field, 3 in the motion. Allen looking to pass again, finds Holmes complete. Spins around at the 50, knocked out of bounds. And that's something they've been looking for in offense all half.
Yeah, and that's the first time they were able to get Holmes moving in stride, and he was able to turn it up the field and add about 10 more yards to the completion. So those yak yards got him, but it was a throw that was on time. Quick decision here to get it right up the seam, and he was able to get him going. And like I said, he picked up about 7-8 yards after the catch.
Officially rolled down to the 50-yard line of the run and the catch. Holmes sets up on the near side once again amongst the players in the motion. Allen back to Holmes again, complete. Tries to push on forward. Brought down at about the 42.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you have to do if you're Colton Allen and you see the blitz. You have to replace where the linebackers came. Linebackers came right up the middle. Cody Holmes was able to just drag right to the middle section where the middle linebacker vacated. Completion, second down and 2.5, which is going to leave the whole playbook open if you want to run the ball. And now you can quick throw. And if you want to take a shot, that's available still too.
We'll see what they decide to do with Prayer as the back. 3 receivers again in the motion. Allen, quick throw to the outside, Ryan complete. Brought down at about the 23-yard line. And that's a matchup they've gone to a couple times tonight. Ryan on Bishop.
Yeah, and that's that back shoulder throw. Again, a good spot because the big, tall receiver can turn his hips around. And you'll see on the replay, this is thrown to his outside, and he's able to get his arms away from his body and now defend the ball from being batted, and he turns it up the field. Good completion. Now they're in the scoring zone.
At the 23-yard line, they're just shy of the red zone. Allen looking to throw. Flag on the play as Dante Lewis breaks the plane. Touchdown signal, but a flag is down on the far side of the field at the time of the snap.
So my guess is it's going to be a offside because it was thrown immediately, but we'll get the official call now, Justin.
Allen's already signaling that he wants it declined. And yes, it's against London. Touchdown Fratmen to Dante Lewis.
Yeah, and that time they got the matchup they wanted. The safety came down into the box, and they were able to go over the top where he vacated. So the chess match in that case went in favor of the Fratmen, aided by a couple penalties, of course.
Yeah, at least 2 or 3 of them. But the Fratmen set up for the extra point. Kick is up. And that brings it now to a 21-13 game, 8-point lead for Windsor. And speaking of Windsor sports, the Spitfires, as mentioned, have their next home game coming up in just a few days' time on October the 3rd. But of course, there's more than that than the single game tickets. You can also get the Flex Pack tickets. To enjoy tickets that are available to every fan's hockey schedule throughout the campaign. The packs include weekend ticket groupings for 6, 15, and 22 games. All were available. For more information, go to windsorspitfires.com to reserve your favorite seats around your schedule. And the crowd is going wild here in Windsor. 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. And they are now the loudest they've been all night long after the touchdown.
Now this 8 points, if it does stay like this, Justin, obviously favors Windsor. If London and Windsor happen to end up tied for some way, shape, or form, if that is the case, Windsor lost by 7 a few weeks ago. So right now this 8 point covers that 7. But if they win out, they don't have to worry about any points.
Richardson kicks it off to about the 20-yard line. Across the 30-yard line return, finding space across center field. One man to beat. Fratmen tackler is able to catch up at about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, the Fratmen coverage on kickoff today has been lackluster, to say the least. The ball's bouncing around, which means the return can't get set up as readily as available. Number one, I hate when the ball is between the numbers, right in the middle of the field. It's just a bad situation. But anyway you add it together, there was too much room for the return man to stay in between the hash marks the entire time. And the kicker just needs to turn around at some point and maybe roll up the ball carrier.
And Cortez again with a strong return gets the Beefeaters with good possession. McCallum trying to step up in the pocket, brought down for the sack. And a 1, maybe 2 yard loss on the play makes it 2nd and long.
Yeah, and that's what they call a coverage sack here. You'll see McCallum, he'll look left, he'll take his eyes back to the middle for a split second, and then now he has to go back outside. He had nothing to go to. Blake Olette actually had him a little sooner. Could have been a 3 yard, maybe a 4 yard loss. It turns into about 1.5 yards. But nonetheless, a sack, a tackle for a loss, 2nd and long. And you got to expect this is 3 down territory here, Justin.
Absolutely, but the way this game has gone, they've gone for it the past 2 drives as well on 3rd down. Keep an eye on this as McCallum sets up. 3 receivers to his right. Running back moves to block. Quick throw, incomplete, intended for Vane Bell.
That ball may have been deflected. It looked like McCallum never had the seams there, so he was able to get that ball out, but good pressure from the Fratmen force unit. We'll see here on the replay that they brought pressure right into the face of the quarterback here. So McCallum had to handle the low snap, and it looked like it was tipped just enough to drop that down because they were trying to get it to their speedster. Vang Bell on the outside.
And as to be expected, they're going for it on 3rd and 12, down by 8. McCallum throws, avoids the contact, but incomplete. It's a turnover on downs.
Well, Justin, he did not avoid the contact. He got plowed there. He just couldn't get any mustard on that ball. That blitz got there. Coach Morency, he dialed it up, and you get Lawaya coming right up the gap, and he absolutely lambastes McCallum. He puts it right into his ribs, and you notice he did not lower his crown. He hit him with his chest on the chest, face mask up, a clean hit, a physical hit. The Fratmen defense hold, and now if they can muster up one drive and put any points up here, that could very well define the rest of their season for them.
Allen on the field at quarterback with 3 in the motion for 1st and 10 at the 33. Stepping up, trying to scramble. Gets a gain of a couple as the pocket collapsed.
And you could tell Colton Allen, he clutched and he clutched. He didn't want to force something in there, and he just said, you know what, I'm going to take the 3-4 yards they give me. I can't turn the ball over here. So maybe a little gun shy, but the smart thing was he didn't take a sack and he didn't force something to get the ball turned over.
3-yard carry on the scramble brings them to the 36. 2nd down. 10:27 to go in the 4th. Allen, quick throw to Ryan again. Incomplete this time. Bishop breaks it up. And again, 3rd down coming up.
No question, this has got to be a punt. Michael Ryan's won a few of them early in the season, or early in the game, and this one here, he never got that sort of gentle separation he needed, and the defender was able to make a nice play on the ball and break that thing up.
There's still an eternity to go, too, in this 4th quarter. 10-15 and rolling on down is still a lot of time.
Yeah, oh yeah. Lots of time, Justin. Lots of time.
Going back to punt. Punt is Bundy. 2 return men setting up for the front for the Beefeaters. And a flag is down.
Yeah, we have, it looks like it was number 9 for the Fratmen. Sammy Morrow, he moved early, so this is going to back up 5 yards here.
Bad procedure. Backing it up 5. 3rd down, repeat it.
So it's now going to be 3rd and 12 on the punt. But the return men going to stand about the same position here around the 40-yard line.
Well, if there's any wind right now, Justin, the Fratmen are into it right now.
Yeah, the wind has been gusting towards their direction into the left of Bondi much of the night. Bondi has the wind curl it that way. Bounces at center field. Bouncing backwards, picked up. Felix Noel. Noel pushes around the 52 for good field position for London. And this might be a big drive. Still 9:43 to go, yes, but they're still down by 8.
Yeah, and with the Beefeaters, they have to do a better job of protecting McCallum. The last 2 series, McCallum has been hit. He's been pressured. He's been unable to get some good zip on the ball, which means the ball's been coming up short. If that happens again, you can expect some sort of turnover as well. We do have an injured Fratmen down right now at the middle of the field. Not sure. It looks like he's favoring his left leg.
So player is down, but our next broadcast for Ontario Football Conference action is to be determined for the time being. You have to be sure to check WeDigital.ca and the OFC.ca, the official website for the Ontario Football Conference, for more information on the potential playoff matchups. Again, Fratmen needing a win today to try and help their chances to have a home playoff game in 2019.
Yeah, if they win out, they will host at least one game, likely 2, because they're going to get Niagara, GTA, or Ottawa in the first round, so that's a good thing. If they lose, there's still a chance they can get the 2 seed, but then they need help from other players, and the point differentials and some tiebreakers come in.
You kind of want to control your own destiny, so to speak. London looking to do that on 1st and 10, complete at the 45. That'll make it about 2nd and short.
I will say this, the game has been played, and you'll see on the replay, it's just a quick little hitch hook, and the quarterback just wants to get this out of his hands quickly because the rush has been getting to him there. But both teams have been sort of sticking to their game plan. They've been running the ball a little bit, which means it tells me they've been designing to throw the ball a lot more, both these teams, so they must see something in the defense that allows the pass.
McCallum looking to pass, finds his man complete. Enough for a 1st down as he's thrown down at about the 30.
Because combined between both teams, Justin, I'm not sure if there's more than 20 rush attempts, true rush attempts to a running back. So both these teams must be seeing something in the pass that is available, so they're committing to it. You haven't seen either team sort of flinch or deviate and try to say we're going to establish the ground attack.
And it was talked about, I think, about this a little bit last year, the pass tendency over the run tendency in the CJFL. But now on 1st and 10, McCallum looks to pass. Looking for the end zone, has a man incomplete. Just a yard above his head, make it 2nd and 10 with 8:08 to go.
Yeah, and he had a step. That was the receiver number 81 for the visitors, Daniel Jaffe, who's already scored earlier in this game. He had a step to the outside. The ball was just thrown maybe 2 yards too far, but the quarterback had to throw it to that outside cone, that far cone, simply because it looked like Fortisario had a beat on it. So if that ball had drifted in or sailed a little shorter to the inside, you might have had another pick in the end zone.
And London just took a blocker off the field. The man who's been lined up at fullback much of the night, Brandon Gallant. 2nd and 10, under 8 minutes to play in Windsor. 4 in the motion for McCallum. Steps up in the pocket. Feels it collapse. Pushing around, brought down. Gains a yard, but it's 3rd and long.
Yeah, that was excellent coverage. However, it's easy to have excellent coverage when you only send 3 men into routes. The Beefeaters went max pro there. They kept everybody in the coverage, in the blocking scheme, but none of their receivers could get the separation. You'll see here on the replay, they have 5 linemen. They have the quarterback here. 2 of the receivers stopped at the line of scrimmage, so there was not really an option for them to do anything. So they only sent 3 vertical routes. That's too easy. 2 safeties stayed high, and they took everything away as they end up gaining maybe 1 yard.
Josh Allen and Jordan Krug amongst the tacklers there for the 1-yard scramble with the pressure, but 3rd and 9 again going for it. McCallum throwing up the middle, incomplete. And another turnover on downs for London.
Yeah, and McCallum thought he was going to get pressure there. He didn't get any pressure. They tried to run the square in, as you see McCallum talking to Mr. Carter, asking him what's going on. They're holding on to my receivers properly, telling him he's going to say, I'll talk to my guys and have them look at it. But nonetheless, like you said, another turnover on downs here as the Fratmen defense hold once again with an 8-point lead and 6:51 here. Same situation as the last possession. One good drive here, 3 or 4 first downs. Any points, kill some of the clock. The Fratmen will be in the driver's seat for the rest of the season.
Can they stay in the driver's seat with the 6:47 and rolling on the clock to go? They set up for 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. 4 defensive linemen on the field for London, 3 linebackers. Ryan in the motion. Lewis and Holmes join him. Allen looking to throw again. Into dangerous coverage, incomplete.
Not incomplete,
Oh!
He caught that ball.
Wow.
He caught it. After getting hit and after the tip, he managed to secure that with one hand after the ball was tipped. That looked like a good catch to me. And that is indeed the indication. We'll see here on the replay. Colton Allen playing with fire here because the linebacker comes underneath that, and Cody Holmes sticks out his left hand, grabs it underneath, and you can see that ball was in his arms. His elbows were together. So that's a catch.
And that was a tough one. It looked like at that hit from Gaskill, Caldwelder, it looked like it was going towards the ground. He was able to just get it at the last minute. Wow. Holmes with the catch of the 40. Keeps the drive going more so. Pringer brought down to the 45. 2nd and 5 coming.
Yeah, and a good play call, a good run. You want to keep that clock going, but if you can get those positive yards, 5.5 yards there, good. It's going to bring up that second and manageable. Good opportunity, because now if you only get 4 yards, you can still go for it on 3rd and 1 here, even if you're on your own side of the field.
2nd and 5 with 5:10 to go. The crowd still going crazy in Windsor. Some of the DBs brought back for London. Allen looking to the left. Steps up the pocket. Has space. Cuts across center field. Scrambling towards the sideline. Slides just shy of the 40.
Wisely not taking a hit. And a great job by the offensive line for turning out the blocks, allowing for an inside presence. He steps up into the pocket, and he's able to break. Now, all the linebackers did not expect there to be any kind of run, and Colton Allen picks up almost 25 yards there as he slides to keep this clock winding with the Fratmen set at the 42.
And the scramble gets the clock down to under 4:30 to play. 4 receivers on the field, all of them sent to the right. Allen audibling. This time sticks to the ground. Prayer cuts to the left. Finding some space towards the sticks. Knocked out of bounds just shy of them. Gain of about 9 on the play.
Yeah, and now you're seeing a little bit of the tired, the fatigue. Neither offense has really been on the field a lot, which means the defenses have been on the field here. And you get Preer, who's able to make one step, and he's going to break to the outside and use some speed to get around that corner. He gets a block from Hayes Williams, runs over a potential tackler as he brings up a 2nd down and 1.
And Jordan Krug is coming on the field, so they might try and push forward here. That's usually the sign that we've seen all season when Krug's brought in for this type of play.
Yeah, they go to the heavy set, but the one thing is he hasn't been able to get to the linebacker depth in this heavy set. If they're going to run an ISO, he's got to get through that line of scrimmage right now.
And a whistle called, timeout on the field. Again, by the Fratmen, that's their first of the half.
Well, Justin, they have to take a timeout there. There was confusion. They ran a guy in late. They weren't ready for the play.
And you need to make sure you're ready with that kind of a scenario and big of a play as that. But next month, the St. Croix College Saints will be starting their 2019-20 basketball and volleyball seasons. We Digital Productions will have your coverage of all the Saints' home games starting on October 18th with volleyball action against Mohawk. Be sure to tune in on your exclusive home to watch the 2020 OCAA Women's Basketball Championships. 3:43 to go in the 4th quarter with the timeout. And now this again might be, if they can continue this drive, a chance to put the icing on the cupcake. Again, we've seen Krug brought in the last time. He is staying on the field for the heavy set.
Well, it looks like the Beefeaters have countered accordingly because they have 5 men along the line of scrimmage right now. So it looks like they're ready for some sort of heavy set run.
4 linebackers also falling behind. Faking on the play, going for the pass. Intended for Holmes, incomplete, but a pass interference called. The DB holding on in coverage.
Yeah, Cody Holmes was trying to work back to the ball, and it looked like the receiver was pulling down on his jersey. As you'll see here, Colton Allen throws it up for grabs, and now we slow down the frame, and you'll see him working back, and he has a hold of his arm. And there is no question when you're pulling the arm of the receiver who's trying to work back to the ball, you're going to get that call 99% of the time. And that looked like the correct call as they're conferencing here.
We'll see which way the direction is. Fratmen are already
pass
prepared.
interference. London up 15 yards. First down.
And that is a huge one. Puts them inside the London 20.
So you have one thing that you have to do in the next 2 plays, and that's hold on to the ball. It doesn't matter what happens if you don't get the first down here, because you can kick even a single and it's going to make it a 2-possession game. You have to hold on to this ball.
Approaching the 3-minute warning in Windsor. Allen looking to the right side, finds Ryan. Complete touchdown, Windsor. Ryan's second touchdown reception of the night, and Windsor now leads by 2 scores.
Colton Allen is just praying, thank you. He was playing with fire there. That ball was underthrown, and the DB, Kamar Bishop, had a beat on it. He was trying to step in front of it right here. He's trying to bat that ball down, and then he just swats and misses, and Ryan with the concentration this time corrals the ball in, and that might be the proverbial nail in the coffin.
Extra point up and good to make it now 28-13, a 15-point lead. 3:19, make it 3:18 to go in this fourth, Badi. As you mentioned, the possible dagger.
The possible dagger is correct.
And look at that sideline. They know it too.
Yeah, so now if you're London, if you do score, usually you go for 2 on the second time around. You bring it to a 1-possession game. But with only 3 minutes left, if London does score, you can expect them to be going for the 2 points to try to at least balance that point differential. That was a big, obviously, score. The win is the win at the end of the day, with the Fratmen now holding a commanding 15-point lead. But remember in Hamilton a couple weeks ago, Justin? They were up double digits, and then all of a sudden Hamilton scored quick. So this game is not over.
London looking to get their offense moving. They haven't scored in the half, but they'll get the ball after the touchdown with 3:19 to play. Return for about the 15-yard line. Trying to go for the shuffle play. On the ground, but picked up. And the play goes nowhere, about the 17. So they tried a bit of trickery there, but it doesn't work.
That is out-coaching your team. Why do that? You've had great returns all game long. You've had great returns. You haven't needed any misdirection, and all of a sudden you do a misdirection type end-around flip reverse, and the ball's on the turf, and you're pinning your offense down inside your own 25-yard line, inside your own 20-yard line. Bad call, no question about it. Your return game has been your very big positive on your kickoffs. I disagree with that decision right there.
The officials have marked it down to the 19-yard line as we approach the 3-minute warning. McCallum needing a spark, finds a man in the middle, complete. Finding space, DiPodesta. DiPodesta to the Fratmen sideline, knocked it out just shy of center field.
Now that's a big chunk yardage play you want to get right off the hop. They just run him on a square, and he just keeps running up the field. And at this point in time, where are the high safeties? You have to close on that. Number 6 needs to make the tackle for the Fratmen, and that looked like it was Michael Worku. He does not, ends up picking up almost 20 more yards after where the first contact could have been.
And Worku just so happened to be the Defensive Player of the Week for week number 6 of the OFC. That time, not able to have the coverage play, and London gets to the 53, inside the 3-minute warning. 3 receivers in the motion. McCallum feeling pressure in the backfield, brought down for the sack. 2nd and long around the 50.
I think McCallum missed an opportunity for a home run ball. Van Bell was going up the seam, right along this, right where it said Alumni Field. I think his eyes never got to the left at all, and the sack comes, and that was number 55 for the Fratmen. It looked like Alex Valhora who made the sack, but I think he missed. I think Van Bell was up the seam, and the broken coverage, they got lucky there that McCallum did not look left at all.
And London still making adjustments. 3 yards lost on the play. Ball spotted at the 50. Looking to pass, McCallum. Scrambles right, calls for runners, receivers to go. To the sideline, incomplete. DePodesta, again the target.
That's very good coverage on the back end. That time there was no gaps, no openings. The coverage completely blanketed across. I could have drew a line across the sticks, and I would have saw 5 white jerseys standing there making sure there was nothing over top of them. You see McCallum look, and then he waves the one guy, hey, turn it up the field. We'll try to get something. But in this case scenario, there were just too many white jerseys in good high positions to give that up. And you know what, frankly, even if you give up the first down right now, the clock is a concern. You just don't want to make sure you don't give them the home run right now. If they're going to score, let them use up the whole clock. No home run plays here.
3rd and 13. 2:03 to go. McCallum steps up again. Sheds off a sack. Tries to scramble. Draws a flag. Runs across the 50. Trying to dive to the sticks. And a scramble around the sticks. But again, a flag was up in the backfield.
Well, that's either a face mask or a hold. I'm not sure what they're going to get because I couldn't tell exactly, but either way, it's close to a first down. Here's the replay, so maybe we can dissect it from this replay here. As they step up in the pocket, it's a hold. Number 52 was being wrapped up and tackled, so my guess is if they're short here, they're going to decline the penalty, and they're going to turn the ball over on downs. If not, there's going to be the hold.
And you see why there's a scramble. The ball popped down to the last moment before the whistles, but it was recovered, as you've seen, by London at the sticks. And the officials discussing this, a big play here.
Yeah, see, you can hear the referee saying it would have been a first down. You have to take him back. We have the hold.
We had holding on the offense. Back 10 yards. 3rd down, repeat it.
Yeah, and you know what, though? McCallum was tackled. He was in the backfield, and he had to pick up 13 yards on that scramble, and he picked it all up. If they tackle him just short, they turn over on downs, and they can kill another minute and a half, force London to use their timeouts. They still give them a chance here. I know it's 3rd and a bunch, but a little better tackling, and the Fratmen would have had the ball.
And now, instead, it is 3rd and very long. London looking for a second chance to get to the sticks. McCallum has flags pop up. Finds Van Bell. Around the sticks, the original markers rather, but regardless, it's short. There was a flag on the play, though, at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and I think Van Bell ran out of his own shoe. So he crawled off to the sideline and looked like he was holding his lower leg because his shoe is off right now. Now we're going to get the call. It looks like it's against London because the Fratmen offense has taken the field. And here we'll see the replay as the call
We had offside
is being made.
on the offense. That penalty's declined. Result of the play, first down.
So Van Bell gets stepped on his his left heel. His shoe came squirming off, and then he reaches for it right away as he crawled off the sideline. But one of the receivers was offside. Declined the penalty. They only picked up 11 yards there, so now the Fratmen are going to be set up with under 2 minutes left and in complete command.
A minute 46 and downward on the clock to go in the fourth. Allen hands it off to Prayer. Brought down quickly at the line of scrimmage for second down.
Yeah, and that's okay. Unless London uses their timeout here, you're going to expect them to take 20 full seconds off this next play clock once it's blown in.
And remember, once the play is blown in, right there, clock will start rolling. And it looks like quick whistles popping up. It looks like they might have did the timeout.
Timeout! Yep.
That's the first timeout for London of the second half. Tonight's coverage has been presented by Nonus Athletic Incorporated. Established in 1946, Nonus has been Windsor's sporting equipment specialist since that time with the reliable and experienced football experts. They will help you fit into the gear you need. Visit them at their showroom at 2020 Tecumseh Road West or call 519-252-5705 to find the perfect equipment for you and your sports. Minute 38 to go here in Windsor. And the Fratmen looking to wind down the clock. 2nd and 11 coming up.
Yeah, and if this was a one-score game, Justin, I would agree with trying to pass the ball and get the first down. But with 2 scores and you have the game sort of in hand, I think you got to force London to use their timeout here. Turn, hand the ball off. Whatever you get, you get. Force them to use a timeout and punt and pin them deep.
2nd and long. Allen drops the snap. Botched play brought down quickly for a bigger loss of about 3 or 4.
Yeah, they're lucky that that ball did not go in the favor of the Beefeaters. You're right. It was a low snap. He was unable to get the handle of it on it. And the worst case would have been, and we mentioned it earlier, if you turn over the ball. You have to control the ball. Bad snap. Fortunately, they recovered it. Use their timeout. Punt, pin them inside their own 20-yard line. Minute 30 left, Justin. Tall task.
Tonight's coverage is presented by Harold Remark and Royal Page Binder Real Estate. With more than 20 years of experience, Harold can help you find your perfect home or property. Contact him today by phone at 519-733-1028 or view his current listings at royalpagebinder.com. And as you mentioned, Harold Remark actually in attendance for tonight. He'll watch as the punt is away. Bounces above the return man's head, picks it up still at the 23. Trying to cut up field, brought down at about the 37. And now, what do you do if you're London? A minute 22 to work with.
Well, you don't have very many options here. I can't see Coach Morency dialing up too much pressure right now. I think your front four have been doing a pretty good job the last couple series of collapsing the pocket. Play coverage, make sure you catch, make sure you tackle everything in front of you. You can give up chunks. You can give up 10. You can give up 12 yards. Doesn't matter. You just can't give up a quick strike, giving them time to onside and possibly get another major.
They spot the ball at the 38. But again, a 2-score game. Fratmen up 28-13. McCallum throws, finds a man up the middle, complete. Brought down just past the 50. Again to Josh Waller. And now the Beefeaters trying to rush forward.
Yeah, and that's okay. You can pick up 12 yards. You'll see here on the replay as a few Beefeaters were slow getting up off the ground here. Looked like one offensive lineman for the Beefeaters tripped up and clipped his other offensive lineman partner, and McCallum's slow here limping around too.
Looking to pass again. About a minute to work with. Finding Waller, but dropped. He nearly just got over top the coverage of Dante Fornasario, but incomplete is the call.
Yeah, Dante Fornasario knocked his own teammate sideways there. It looked like he didn't even make a play on the ball here, but yeah, the receiver was in a position to maybe outstretch and make the play, but Fornasario did get there in time to create a collision and jar the ball loose, bring up a 2nd and long situation.
2nd and 10, a minute and 2 seconds, making a minute and 1 second on the clock. 3 receivers set up to the right of McCallum. Looking that direction. Throwing. Finds his man, Spence complete. And that'll move the sticks again at about the 45. Not a lot of time to work with, though, just 54 seconds.
No, and the one player who's not on the field right now is Tazi Van Bell. So obviously on that last catch where he got his shoe stepped on, he is obviously injured, and with 55 seconds left in an uphill battle, probably not worth risking him injuring it worse if it is serious.
1st and 10, quick throw, finding the man again of Daniel Jaffe. That time around the sticks. Where are they going to spot it is the question. It is at the 10-yard reception mark. 2nd and short.
I thought he actually got the first down, but apparently the one official overruled the other on the spot.
2nd and short. McCallum calling for receivers to rush. Makes another adjustment. Scrambles, gets the first down. Trying to go to the sideline, spins around, bobbles the ball. Who's got it? Fratmen do with a fumble.
Yeah, McCallum trying to make a little bit too much happen there. If he ran out of bounds, he had the first down. He keeps the clock stopped. He tried to make a jump cut back to the inside, and you'll see here on the replay, he swings the arm that he's carrying the ball, his right hand up over his head. Ball pops out. Fratmen recover. Victory formation now, and the Windsor Fratmen look like they're set to host at least one home playoff game, with the chance, if they win next week, of potentially hosting 2.
Michael Worku, Week 6's defensive player in the OFC, was the one who got the fumble recovery. And now that has just about secured things for Windsor. No timeouts left for London. Up 28-13.
Yeah, and you see Mr. Carter, who's right in the middle of the line there. He's just blowing it in. He's telling the quarterback, obviously, I'll tell you when to snap it. In this country, we can't just blow the game dead. You have to take one last snap here. So he's going to snap it here. They're going to mark it. They're going to re-snap once it hits zeros, and the game will be officially over.
With the victory, the Fratmen will move to 5-1 on the season. London to 5-2. Fratmen win 28-13 the final in the battle of the Highway 401. And a big victory for the Fratmen with the standings, with the playoff picture, and for the fans here at home tonight in this rivalry game. Post-game coverage is coming up in just a few moments. Stick around, you're watching Windsor Productions. Final score, 28 for the Fratmen, 13 for the Beefeaters.
I want to understand why.
I want this to be perfect.
I want to be inspired.
I want to be challenged.
No matter the reason, our passion to learn brought us here.
Hi, I'm Curtis Joseph, former NHL goalie.
Butcher goes down. Look front the Fratmen drive the save. Pass to the nice shot to the save. And he's right in. Oh, and stops it behind the net. Marksman wipes it right in front. Talking shoots. Oh, and what a save!
You're watching We Digital.
Hi, I'm Josie, and I'm your co-host of the We Digital production, We Now. Anyone interested in promoting a business, an event, a book signing, or maybe even just making aware of the movers and shakers of Windsor, Essex County, we now can do that for you. We'll get your word out. So make sure you email me at josie@we-tv.ca to book an in-studio session that will air live on Facebook. And don't forget to check out our social media. We've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube.
I want to understand why.
I want this to be perfect.
I want to be inspired.
I want to be challenged.
No matter the reason, our passion to learn brought us here.
Hi, I'm Curtis Joseph, former NHL goalie.
Windsor goes down. Look front to Fratmen, drive the save. Pass to the nice shot to the save. And he's right in. Oh, and stops it behind the net. Marksman wipes it right in front, talking, shoots. Oh, and what a save!
You're watching We Digital.
Welcome back to Alumni Field, our post-game report. OFC football here on We Digital Productions. The Windsor AQ Fratmen take a huge step here tonight. They defeat the London Beefeaters 28-13, and the elated head coach, Mike Lachance, joins us. Is that a good word for it, Coach? Elated?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a big game, and we have a lot of respect for London. They're a well-coached team. They play very physical. They certainly did today. Their defense really stepped up, and it's a big one. Anytime we play them, last time we played them, it was a great game. We came out on the short end. Today we were a little more advantageous. So,
what was the most significant difference in the two games for your team, Coach?
Our defense played like Windsor. I mean, that's what our defense has played like under Coach Moranci, and we've been scuffling a little bit this year. We've had some injuries, and we had a few guys out today as well. But you know what? They really they had a great game plan. Coach had a great game plan. The kids really executed. And if you tell me you're going to hold London to 13 points, I'm going to take it every time, obviously. That's a powerful team.
Yeah, that was one of the key stats. Also, it seemed a little bit like London became a little bit rattled towards the end, even in the fourth quarter. And I know there was a lot of penalties in the game in London. Your team very disciplined this time, Coach.
Yeah, we had talked about penalties and just being more disciplined, especially post-play penalties. They had a few today, and their coaching staff was riled up about it, obviously. And you know what? I've been on that end of it, and it's frustrating when your kids are doing that kind of thing and they're getting called on it. But there's no one to blame but yourself. And I've been on that end. And after a game, you look at the scoreboard and you say, "Man, if we didn't get X amount of penalties, we probably would have competed in that game." And today we're on the victorious side of that.
How close? I mean, there's never a perfect game, Coach Lachance, but how close to the game plan did your guys execute tonight?
Well, you know what? Offensively, we got way off the game plan as the game went on because we lost McCraney early. McCraney was the game plan today. We had a lot of plays that were designed for him or using him in a premier role, and he got hurt early on. And really, we had to switch on the fly. Our coaching staff did a good job with that, and a couple kids stepped up. A guy like Mike Ryan really stepped up and took the game over. So kudos to him.
Yeah, kudos. You get to enjoy this for tonight, maybe, Coach. Again, you got to go right back at it. Another huge game next week. Now you can put this one behind you. Maybe even take some of it, bring it into Hamilton next week. Another key game for first place.
Yeah, you know what? Today was the most important game of the season, but it's done, and now Hamilton's the most important game of the season. And if we do what we're supposed to do and we roll this out the rest of the year, we'll have home field in the playoffs. It makes it a little bit easier, not only on the field but off the field on the pocketbook and the travel expenses. So it's a big win, and it'll be a bigger one next week. So.
Good stuff, Coach. Congratulations. Enjoy. Okay. Coach Mike Lachance working hard here tonight along with his team. They secure a very good victory here tonight, 28-13. As mentioned, they hit the road next weekend. They'll travel to Hamilton. Again, that's a battle for first place. Then they go on the road again to Ottawa to close out their schedule. Check out We Digital Productions. We'll have the games updated. And, of course, if a home game is played here, We Digital will be here. But check out our website. We'll keep you updated there and let you know what the Fratmen schedule is looking like. But right now, we'll enjoy the victory. 28-13, the final score, the Fratmen over the Beefeaters. On behalf of Justin Prince, Badia Quas, the outstanding crew working behind the scenes here at We Digital, this is Dominic Papa wishing you a great night. Thanks for tuning in. Take care, everybody.